tonight, Channel 14 presents same-night coverage of the University of New Mexico Lobos against the University of Utah Utes. Last year's meeting provided the Utes an exhausting 58-49 victory in Salt Lake, but it's the Wolfpack's turf tonight. Lobo football on Channel 14 is brought to you in part by Ajax Mobile Homes. We've got the spirit, and it shows. By Coors Premium Beer, the beer with a difference worth tasting. Coors is the one. And by Coors Light, the Silver Bullet. There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet. Welcome to what might be called the Bailing Wire Bowl, a battle between two injury-riddled football teams. Hi, everybody. This is Connie Alexander, along with Gary Ness at University Stadium. Beautiful night for football here. Very different than what we experienced in Salt Lake City last year in a blizzard when the Utes beat the Lobos 58-49. Lobos playing with several changes, as are the Utes tonight. For example, Shane Hall starts at left slot in place of McKyer, who's no longer on the team. Donnie Gassaway at linebacker is not suiting up. Kelvin Johnson starts for him, and other changes, which Gary will talk about.
Well, on offense, Terrence Donaldson, their offensive blocker Supreme, he's hurt he has a bad shoulder, will not be suited up tonight. We hope to see him before the season ends. Glenn Rogers has an ailing back, and we don't know how much he will be able to play. We might see Kevin Burgess move to the slot position that Rogers normally plays, and Vaughn Simmons move in for him. Those are some big adjustments on the offense that the Lobos will have to come up with something for.
And Fred Mady, the defensive tackle, is playing with a sore shoulder. He'll be out there playing, but we don't know how much he'll be hampered. We do want to point out the great aerial combination of the Utah Utes.
Lauren Ritchie and Larry Eggers, the quarterback, play junior college ball together, and they're here at Utah, and they are just one of the top passing combinations in the country. And there's really no reason to expect any fall off on points from what we had last year. That was a great offensive productive game last year. A lot of points will be scored tonight.
Eggers is playing with a sore shoulder, by the way, and some other Utes will not be in uniform tonight. The game is certainly not going to determine any champions. That's no great news to anybody. But we do believe it will be a very fun to watch, wide open, exciting football game. We hope at University Stadium, the Utah Utes will be kicking off to the Lobos. A wind at the backs of the Utes here as we start the game. Gorgeous conditions, 64 degrees the temperature. That wind is out of the south, 12 miles per hour, and it may be diminishing as the evening progresses here at University Stadium. Going back deep for the Lobos, Brett Hebert, a freshman, and the other returned back. Can't quite discern that number.
It's another freshman, Mike Thomas, I believe.
And Scott Lieber is the kickoff man for Utah in place of the injured Andre Gordy, one of the top kickers in America who sustained a broken leg last week. Thomas is going to run it out. And hacked down at the 22-yard line by Kurt Jones. So the game is underway between the Utes with a record of 0-4. And let's take a look at the Lobo offensive interior. They average 250. Taylor at left guard, starting there in place of the injured Terrence Donaldson, who is not suited up tonight. And at the line of scrimmage with Ned James in the cockpit in place of the retired Billy Rucker. And there's Rogers, who Gary Ness talked about in the pregame, in motion. And a completion to Arbon up at the 31-yard line, and almost enough for the first down. And the right cornerback, Leo Austin, brings Arbon down as Arbon makes his 11th catch of the year on the first play of the game. Let's take a look now at some more of the offensive team for the Lobos. Ned James, Shane Hall starting at the left slot in place of McKyer. Rogers and Burgess. Burgess, 456 yards rushing. Capitola and Arbon, the receivers. And they're measuring a 10-yard completion from James to Arbon on that first play. Not quite enough for the first down. The Utah defense, they've made quite a few changes tonight. McKenna is one of their changes. And we'll have to analyze their defense as we go tonight, because they've made a lot of changes. In fact, if you could see the alignment deep, there's like 3 guys in a row, and now they're shifting over, and they're playing 4 in the front trenches with just an even front, and Ned James sneaks it up the middle, and he's got maybe 3, maybe 4, and he's got the first down for the Lobos. Let's take some further looks at the Ute defense. There's the secondary for the Utes. Greg Smith is a late change there, moving up from second string. Utes with a lot of injuries, as the Lobos have had. Shane Hall is the man in motion. Note the forefront for the Utes, who usually run out of a 5 front with a nose guard. And James cannot connect with his receiver. And Leo Austin is the defensive man, as Brent Kelly, the senior from Odessa, Texas, was the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Lobo 36-yard line.
Lobos have shown nothing but their classic stretch the defense formation, use a man in motion, curl the wide receiver in, and they've thrown to him twice, 1 completion.
Some big changes in the linebacker core for the Utes, as we see Hall in motion. That gives 3 receivers to the right. James looks out there, almost intercepted, and then saved on a great play by Kelly. He's about 3 yards shy of the first down. Austin almost intercepted. We were talking about the linebacker situation for the Utes. They did not bring their inside left linebacker, Lance Wingert, and they are playing with a middle linebacker, Joe McGriff, and with a monster man, Garland Harris, and using a 4 front. So it'll be interesting to watch the Utes. They're making a lot of adjustments, as the Lobos have been doing, because of injuries and because of losing seasons. The option reverse, and it's Whitehead, and Whitehead may go. So long, Kenneth. Kenneth Whitehead going all the way 59 yards on an option reverse. And the Lobos lead 6-0. Whitehead, who started the season as a split end, was switched over to cornerback, and then has been seeing a little bit of 2-way action as both a defensive back and as a split end, and he scores on a 59-yard option reverse.
And Kenneth Whitehead owes a steak dinner to Pat Capitola, the wide receiver who blocks. Now watch number 85 at the top to make a block. There's one on the corner right there. Well, we couldn't see Pat, but Pat was the one who made the block, which gave him the corner.
And Bibbo tacks on the extra point. And after 1 minute and 35 seconds, that wide open game we talked about is on the way. The Lobos in front by 7. University Stadium, Connie Alexander along with Gary Ness. What an electrifying play by the Lobos and by Kenneth Whitehead, the 6'3 senior from Detroit.
Well, you can see Pat Capitola right at the bottom. Now, he was the one who screened out the cornerback, the only one with a chance to catch Kenneth Whitehead. That was the important block. We might mention, too, Connie, that there's some poetic justice in this, because with the great cornerback Tucker for the Utes last year, on the first series of downs, they left him in after returning the kickoff, and they ran a reverse against the Lobos. So took a page out of the Utes book.
The Utah Utes. We'll be watching their offense. They like to throw it to their backs. And they have that outstanding quarterback, Larry Eggers, a southpaw. And we'll be watching him. And here's the kickoff by Bell. And into the wind. And that wind grabs it. And they're signaling a fair catch back at the 21-yard line. The fair catch made by 89, Ken Griggs. And you can fair catch on a kickoff. And here's the Utes offense. Paul Knierim. Front line averages 263. Knierim and New are both late changes there. And Isako Poti has been moved from left guard to right guard, or quick to strong guard. And their nomenclature. It's on the U21 1st and 10, as we will see a variety of offensive sets tonight. Mady almost got Eggers. Eggers escapes, and then is bookended at the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. Tom Cole, the Lobos' #1 tackler, was the first man to hit him after a gain of 3.
Fred Mady has a sore shoulder, and I believe that's why he had Eggers back behind the line of scrimmage, but couldn't complete the tackle.
And Eddie Johnson is an outstanding runner, number 32. Had a 1,000-yard year as a freshman. And Biro, the quarterback, or the fullback, was a converted quarterback. So watch for a lot of things from him. Here's Gerald Johnson around the right side, and he's got a first down. Gerald Johnson, the senior out of National City, California, weighs 185. He averages a little better than 5 yards a carry, so the Utes in 2 plays have chalked up a first down. Lauren Ritchie, outstanding wide receiver, missed the first 2 games. James Hardy's got a lot of speed.
This is a pitch sweep, and all it is they use the backs out adjusted to the wide side of the field to block ahead of Johnson and take it to the sideline.
That's McEwen in motion. Eggers in trouble. Eggers nailed for a big loss. A bundle. Kelvin Johnson in on the tackle.
Rushing from the corners. Let's see if this is Philip Vaughn or Kelvin Johnson coming from the backside. Philip there, but also on this side is Avila, John Avila.
On the 26-yard line, second down and 19. And the dive play out of the split back set. Biro, the ball carrier. There's the Lobo tackles, Lavelle and Mady. Mady with the hurt shoulder. Those 2 top linebackers are really defensive ends. A lot of coaching staffs call defensive ends outside linebackers now. It sounds a little bit more glorious.
Yeah, it gives them a little more glamorous, I guess, huh?
Glamorous, glorious. Eggert on 3rd and about 16, flag thrown. Intercepted by Kirkendall at the Lobo 43-yard line. As Eggers was short of the target, he was looking for his old buddy Lauren Ritchie, but there's a flag back around the line of scrimmage, just behind the line. And we'll see what referee Guy Gibbs has to say about this one.
I got holding there. I got roughing the passer there. We're going to replay the down.
Well, you heard Guy Gibbs call it. There were offsetting penalties, so the down will be replayed. So Kirkendall's interception will go for naught.
All those grunts and bruises for nothing. It'll be 3rd down from the 29-yard line and 16 to go.
I wonder if Eggers throwing short to Ritchie on that play shows that his shoulder or arm might be still injured somewhat, because he's normally the best deep passer in the WAC. He has that reputation.
He was hurt at Wyoming last week, and they had to bring in Mendonca, who threw for 2 touchdown passes then. Here's Eggert back on the big number 3 down play. The bomb for Ritchie. And Ritchie had a step on Weiss. It's going to be 4th down and kick with the wind.
Well, he wasn't hurting on that one. He really let that one fly.
Here's the Lobo secondary. Punt by Lieber. Capitola dropped it to 36-yard line by Greg Smith. And so the Lobos will take it. So the Lobos, who took it 78 yards in 6 plays on their only series of downs, and who lead 7-0, will have the ball now with 4 minutes and 11 seconds of the first quarter written down in the history books. Scott Maney, number 50, the center, 250 up and over the ball. They're in the run and shoot alignment. Ned James keeps it. There are flags. And James loses it, and it's recovered by Greg Smith of Utah near the Lobo 45. It is a Utah recovery, but the flags may eradicate the whole play. We'll see in just a minute. Another look.
Ned's reading the option real well. He sees his opening off tackle, keeps it. Now watch that nifty little move right there, but he has the ball out away from his body, and it gets away from him and recovered by Utah. But let's see the call.
That's what you call a pirouette that he did there, isn't it?
Pirouette, yes.
Is that right?
Yes. My daughter, who takes ballet, she could identify that for us.
Old Becca. Penalty against the Utes. Here's the ref, Guy Gibbs.
Offside, defense, still first down.
Jolie Dunn sizes it up as the Lobos operate 1st and 5 after the 5-yard penalty. Rogers in motion toward the fat side of the field. And the sprint by James, and then back against the green. Hey, he might go. Nailed from behind at the 10-yard line. By Kevin Hahn, a linebacker. Flag on the play, though, way back at the Lobo 30.
But alas, there is a flag. There was holding in the pocket there, the protection. The flag was thrown very early by the umpire. In fact, you see him in the act of throwing it right there. Ned, who is a great athlete, can really sprint. Just get that ball out there in that one hand again. So the breaks have evened out. One play, Utah got the break. Previous play, the Lobos.
Holding on the offense. Still first down.
My, that is a major loss for the Lobos after that tremendous gain. It was Wheelwright who slowed James down, and then that allowed Hahn, the right outside linebacker, time to drop him from behind. A penalty moves it back to the Lobo 31, where it's 1st and 15. Score 7-0. 5 minutes gone. First period. Lobos lead. And James is swarmed. Tika Manu was the man who got him. 258-pounder. Manu is a nationally ranked Golden Gloves boxer.
Here is something we haven't seen much of this year, and that's the Lobos passing from straight drop-back formation. With Rucker and earlier with James, it was all sprint out and roll out, but that was straight drop back, and they had trouble protecting.
2nd down, excuse me, and 22. And a screen, but Burgess has to dive for it. And there's an even further loss. Tremendous pressure applied by Jeff McMillian, the defensive right tackle, at 290 against the 180-pound Ned James. McMillian, all-state in track and wrestling out of Banks, Oregon, 6'3" senior. The ball on the Lobo 23. They have to go all the way to their own 46, so it's 3rd and 23, and the Lobos are moving into the wind. 6 minutes gone, first quarter. Lobos lead by 7. Triple receivers to the right, or trips as they say in the trade. And James is short of Rogers, and so they'll have to bring Ron Keller on to punt. Again, McMillian, number 95, is the man with a big rush.
Well, you know, you wonder about all of these adjustments. On the previous play, Kevin Burgess got his feet tangled with his lineman coming out of there. And there are a couple of new offensive linemen, and a screen pass is something that has to be very well coordinated between the line and the backs. So we see the punt get away. Ronnie Keller get off his punt.
And it's fielded. Eggers in a draw play to Eddie Johnson, their premier running back, and he gets into enemy soil of the Lobo 49, where he is met by Torrey Edwards. Torrey Edwards, 225-pound transfer out of Cisco, Texas Junior College. Torrey wears a size 50 coat and a 32-inch waist.
And he's tough to go with that. Eddie Johnson, we saw there, has some real shiftiness, and he can accelerate through the hole.
A one-back set this time. That's McEwen, the U-back, who makes the grab. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line. Now McEwen is the #1 receiver in the WAC. That's his 22nd catch of the year. And the U-back, they use the U-back. He's kind of a 12th man, and they use him a lot of different ways.
Well, they'd like to have him as a 12th man, but he's comparable to the wing backs that the Lobos use, like Glenn Rogers and Shane Hall tonight.
They've used him entirely as a receiver this year. He's not yet rushed the ball to U back. And Harry was the intended receiver. Carl Harry, a sophomore out of California. 65% of the top 50 Ute players are from California. Kenneth Whitehead provided the coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the Lobo 27. The Lobos lead by 7.
And you saw in the Utah huddle, the wholesale change substitution there, about 6 players on and off.
And here they are on 2nd and 10, running out of a power I. And a little dive play right up the middle, and Gerald Johnson forges ahead for about 8 or 9 yards before Orlando Lavelle seals the hole with help from Kelvin Johnson.
Very seldom will you see on a 2nd and 9 or a 2nd and 10 a power I formation, but that's what they did. And of course they ran the straight ahead dive, power play out of that, and got a good 8 yards.
3rd and 1, Lobo 18. A multitude of formations for this team. Here they are with 2 setbacks and a wing back, and a first down sneak by Eggers, who reads the defenses really well. Came into this game with 61% completions. He's a 195-pound senior economics major. Orlando Lavelle, Mady on the deck. Orlando Lavelle made the tackle. And Mady, hard to tell, of course, at this point what part of him is hurting, but could be a leg, perhaps.
Well, it is hard to tell. He came into the game with a bruised shoulder and a problem with the acromioclavicular joint, and the way he's lying there, it is very difficult to tell. But he is not only a great player, but he's an inspirational leader to the defense. And to lose Fred Mady is more than just losing a person at that position.
He's an Albuquerque youngster from Sandia High, where he was a star, and Jim Berryman just heaps praises on Fred Mady. He says if we had a bunch of guys who play like Fred Mady, we could have a really strong defense.
He just works so hard day in and day out, and his performance week in and week out is so consistent. Fred has been a great help to the Lobos in many ways.
His mom and dad follow the team and go to, I guess, every road game. There is a timeout here, and with 7:12 left in the first quarter, the Lobos lead by 7. Back at UNM Stadium, there is Mady being helped to the bench, and as Todeem and his assistant helped Mady off, he was holding his right leg off the ground and just crow hopping on the left foot. Here's the first down from the 16, and broken up, Eddie Johnson and the famous Eddie Johnson juggling act.
It helped to have Tom Cole harassing him there. Eddie, it's hard to adjust to the ball when somebody's tackling you at the same time. Tom Cole was right there with him.
And Umdenstock was on the scene. He's a tough customer out there.
Oh, indeed he is. There's a short drop. Now there's Eddie.
And back to live action, and Gerald Johnson turns the corner to the 10-yard line. He puts half a dozen in his suitcase, and Marcel Weiss, a junior strong safety from Huntington Beach, California, makes the stop for the Lobos as the Utes are driving and trying to tie it up here with about 8.5 minutes gone.
They seem very happy to use their power, their superior size, and I don't know if Fred Mady's absence now encourages them or not, but that seems what the Utes are willing to do right now.
It's 3rd and 4. The Utes are known to come up with trick plays just about every game, so kind of keep your eyes peeled for that. There's McEwen in motion. And it is a touchdown to McEwen. Kirkendall was covering, but the great passing arm of Egger produced the 6-pointer to McEwen.
This is the longest possible pass that Egger could throw and still make a touchdown. All the way across the field into the corner of the end zone. That is a difficult throw, but right on the money. McEwen had time to get in bounds before. Touchdown good. Beautiful play.
That's McEwen's first touchdown of the year. Now Lieber will try the extra point. Anthropology major. 2 for 2. He was the backup kicker to Gordy, who had the broken leg last week. And it's good, and the score is tied at 7-all. Big number 74 is Dave Cullity. He's the strong tackle, 278, 6'7", a senior from La Mirada, California. This Lobo football telecast on Channel 14 is brought to you in part by Coors Premium Beer, the beer with the difference worth tasting. Coors is the one.
Well, Utah successfully answered, and
don't miss the action when the Lobos host state rival New Mexico State Saturday, October 25th at 10 p.m. on KGSW TV, Channel 14. That's next Saturday. The interstate battle. And should we say intrastate battle? Intrastate battle, right, not interstate. Well, it's a tie ball game here with 9 minutes gone.
Utah successfully answered here. You know, when somebody scores a long touchdown on you on a reverse, something like that, the test is can you come back and answer with a nice controlled drive, and that's exactly what Utah did, and I think they feel like they're in control of the game right now.
So Utah will be launching it. Lieber will handle that duty. He's a 166-pound sophomore out of Salt Lake City. Really sad about Andre Gordy getting the broken leg, and I hope that won't hurt his chances for a professional career. I doubt that it will. The run back is by Thomas. And Thomas fights his way out near his 27-yard line. And the Lobos will take over from there in this tie ball game.
And it appears as though someone else is down there. I believe that's Mike Thomas who ran that back. He's up and on his feet. So Ned James and the offense get another chance here.
The Utes have lost to San Diego State, to Air Force, to Wyoming. All three of those teams were the top three in the WAC standings coming into this week's play. And the Utes also lost at Ohio State by an overwhelming score. Ned James in the cockpit. A great catch by Hall, Shane Hall. Eric Wheelwright on the tackle.
This is the pop pass to the wingback, which the Lobos used so successfully against Utah last year and running up 49 points against them in that game in the snow.
First and 10 on the 38-yard line. Burgess smokes it for about 3. He's averaging 5.4. Third leading rusher in the WAC, a 200-pounder. Senior out of Silmar, California. His weight is 200. Just talking to him the other day. He did confirm that.
He did. I think he's got lead in his pockets to get 200. He doesn't look too...
He said I weigh 200, so I range 195 to 200. But you see him in the dressing room. That's Shane Hall. There's a flag on the play. Hall close to the first down. Probably has it. You see Kevin Burgess in the dressing room, and no question he weighs 200.
Ned James does a good job of reading the option here, pulling it out and getting the pitch away. Excellent job.
Offside, defense, decline, first down.
First down, almost on the 50-yard line. Go by the nose of the ball. There's Arbonne, number 81. 53 is Sam Taylor, the replacement for Donaldson. Taylor, 252, freshman. And it's again Burgess. And Burgess funnels into Utah territory. And he's met by Gamaliel Rivers. In the front trenches, Rivers, 245. Sociology major. Last year had 10 tackles for losses. Band night here at UNM Stadium. And a very small crowd. Probably a new record for the smallest crowd in Lobo history. Rogers Caught in a pincers movement at the 46 of Utah between Austin and Greg Smith. Greg Smith was a high school All-American and an honor student in Salt Lake City. So there's a gain. It'll be third and about 5.
Now that was counter option action out of a full wishbone backfield, but I don't believe that Ned was reading the first handoff. I think that was a predetermined call in the huddle.
Third down and 5. Score tie. 4:15 left, first quarter. The wishbone, both ends split. And Ned's got the first down. And he's caught by the right shoestring by Wheelwright. Ned James, who ran 79 yards last week. He's passed for 335. Another look at the fine athlete out of L.A.
Same formation, but now this time there was no counter action, so he can get out there quicker, and he went to the sideline and picked up his first down.
Almost to the Ute 38. Lobo football action on Channel 14, brought to you in part by Ajax Mobile Homes. We got the spirit, and it shows. Incomplete for Rogers. Covered by Wheelwright. Wheelwright's father, Ernie, was a professional football player. You may recall him. Some of you older folks like Gary.
Very good professional football player. Offensive lineman, St. Louis Cardinals. All right, now Ned wants to release this to the quick pop pass, but Glenn Rogers had trouble releasing on the line of scrimmage and tripped and fell down.
Second and 10. All in motion. Burgess to the 17. Tackled by Fields. Burgess with his big gain of the night. 20 yards.
Kevin is a little upset with himself that he didn't get into the end zone, but watch how beautifully this draw opens up. Now the quarterback carries the ball back to the back, and now Kevin, see, there is not a white shirt. Well, they're not within a 2 arms reach of Kevin. It's all straight ahead. He did the right thing by splitting the safeties and trying to get what he could.
And James hits the deck at the 10. Tom Pritchett applied the tackle. 174-pound quarterback. A gain of 7. It'll be second and 3. Joe Lee Dunn. Tennessee, Chattanooga. Second and 3. 3 minutes left in the first period. Hall. And I think he tripped himself, but he got the first down. Wheelwright had turned him inside. And then Shane stubbed his toe when he got the first down inside the 5.
Ned is doing a good job of reading the end and pitching if the end takes him, which he did. And you're right, he tripped. But, gee, very fine job of reading the option off tackle.
First down at the 5. And the wishbone. Hall. Good moves by Shane Hall. Hall is a 184-pound junior from Show Low, Arizona. Well, there's not much population in Show Low, Arizona.
All right, now here's the same play again. Now he's going to pitch to Hall. Hall is a fine football player. He was a high school quarterback. He can do anything. He can catch. He can run. He's probably not a great gifted athlete, but he can get the job done.
Capitola wide left. Arbonne split right out of the wishbone. James pitches to Rogers. A good move by Rogers, but a tremendous defensive play by Ernie Wheelwright's son, Eric. It's going to be 3rd and 6 to go to a touchdown. Rogers 117 yards rushing, an average of 4.9 coming into the game.
But for a couple of shoestrings, the Lobos should have had 7 points on the board right now. Now Glenn has the same trouble that Shane had coming the opposite way.
Well, that was a good duel between an offensive and a defensive player right there. Rogers put a good move on him, but Wheelwright just stuck with him. 3rd and goal at the 6. Oh, pitch on the ground, and Hall with a good job recovering, and now do we have a field goal situation? It'll be 4th down. The ball at the 11-yard line.
This is a very risky pitch here. He's actually tied up, and he turns to throw it, Hall did a good job. Without that recovery, he saves him a shot at 3 points here.
Bibbo's going to try the field goal. His longest is 26. Yes, sir. He's got it. And this one will be ruled at about 27. So the Lobos lead 10-7. And we have played 14 minutes and 10 seconds. Catch the excitement when the Lobos host the Tulsa Golden Hurricane Saturday, November the 8th. And it'll be shown at 10 o'clock here on KGSW TV, channel 14. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane. You guys used to duel with them when you were assistant coach in North Texas, didn't you?
Oh, yes. They're in Skelly Stadium. They're in Tulsa. They are a fine football team. They put several great ones in the pros, especially receivers like Steve Largent and Drew Pearson.
Hey, we want to thank Frank's Supply for our end zone camera platform used in our football telecast here on channel 14. This is Connie Alexander along with Gary Ness. Utes taking the field, trailing by 3 points. Boy, they put up a tenacious stand. They fought like guys are about to be thrown off a raft into a river of crocodiles.
Well, I guess I would fight in that situation. Where did you come up with that? My goodness.
Bell's going to kick off into that wind. It's a headwind and a crosswind both. Hughes and Siglock are the deep backs. Pretty good leather on it. Siglock brings it out. Crunched at the 24 of the Utes by Art Martinez, 211-pound sophomore out of Tucson, Arizona. So the Utes will come in there with Egger at the quarterback slot. The Utes coached by Jim Fassel. Played for USC back in a Rose Bowl and was an assistant coach at Stanford, where he recruited and coached John Elway. John News,
Offside.
number 61.
Kicking team.
Kick off again here as the Lobos were offside on that kickoff.
You know, the way that Bill Bell's kicking it against this wind, he's getting it so high and the wind is holding it up there. It's almost like a punt. You want to try to get downfield as far as you can while the ball's in the air.
Here's some WAC scores, excuse me, in action this afternoon. Colorado State beat Hawaii 31-7. Notre Dame battered Air Force 31-3. BYU won at Laramie 34-22. And San Diego State is playing at Texas El Paso tonight. And as you just saw on the graphics there, it's not too long till basketball season. The Lobos' first game is only 4 weeks away, 4 weeks from tomorrow, that exhibition game against the Yugoslavia national team. Bell boots it once more, and this time Hughes has it at the 18. And to his 34, Darren Hughes, an outstanding freshman. He's a blue chip All-America high school player out of Linwood, California. Darren Hughes, a freshman. Remember that name, number 7.
I remember Linwood, California. That was where Johnny Jackson was from, the great Lobo linebacker of a few years
I wonder
past.
what happened to Johnny. You heard?
I haven't heard what he's doing recently.
Call it the 35-yard line of the Utes. The bomb incomplete down there for did I see 86?
If Larry Eggers has a sore arm, it doesn't show here. Watch this one. This one is really launched. That covers a long, long way down to about the 15-yard line.
88 is Greg Holder. 2nd and 10 at the U-35. Flag on this curl play. Tom Cole on the tackle, the completion to Kurt Jones.
Short drop. Now he's waiting for Jones to curl the middle behind the linebackers, and he finds him. Perhaps the reason he had so much time was a hold on the line of scrimmage. We'll see here.
And a penalty against the Utes. 10, that's going to be for holding.
Good holding on the offense. Still second down.
Guy Gibbs, the referee, is also the the supervisor of basketball officials in the WAC. Second down and 20. 87 Art Martinez there defensively on the right for the Lobos. And that's Ritchie. It's good for about 10. Ritchie is a 175-pound senior. Now, he was 7th in the nation in receiving last year with 73 catches. We have a 10-7 ball game here at the end of the first quarter. Lobos leading it. So to go into the second quarter of action, the Utes with the ball. It'll be 3rd and 10 at their 35. That's where the sequence of downs started. We'll give you some scores of other afternoon games as we have the opportunity. Arizona State beat USC 29-20. Arizona State beat USC. It's Hardy rushing over to the right side for the Utes on 3rd and 10. Utes trailing by 3. Egger on a 7-step drop, reads the coverage, and he's got Ritchie. And he's got the first down and a heap more as Lara and Kirkendall are over there along with Johnson to knock him out of bounds. But it's a huge gain from the 35 to the 37. It's a 28-yard play.
Eggers and Ritchie spend their summers together throwing passes on the beach, and you can tell it right here. Now Ritchie lined up at the bottom of the screen and crosses the formation. Now it's awfully hard for man coverage to stay with someone when they cross the formation like that.
49 Johnson, 23 Kirkendall, 28 Lara. In the eye with the left end split, and McEwen in motion to the right side. And it's Gerald Johnson brought down by Lavelle. Orlando Lavelle. He's a 260-pound tackle for the Lobos out of New Orleans. Well, these Utes have an innovative offense.
Well, they really do. They have their own version of the run and shoot, but what in the world is that? There's the Lobo balloon that's being inflated at the south end zone.
Joan Rivers is blowing it up. McEwen out of bounds at the 18. Marcel Weiss was right there with him, but it's another first down.
It seems as though the further downfield that Eggers throws, the more accurate he is. Now, there you see Umdenstock in chase, and he lofts the ball over 2 receivers to McEwen, the U-back.
That's McEwen's 3rd catch for 49 yards. He's the leading receiver in the WAC. Pitch to Eddie Johnson. Boy, he can dazzle you, and he's got a first down at the 5. Gary, we got a wide open.
Well, this is going to be one of those back and forth games. The last team to score is going to win this game. This is the pitch week. Now, they've used this 2 or 3 times thus far in the ball game. Just get everybody out in front. You have wide receivers down there at the bottom of the screen. All they're doing is like basketball screening. And Johnson, he can do a lot of it on his own.
He's got 2 carries for 19. A little bit of confusion there, and they're going to take a timeout. Get their signals straight, and the wires uncrossed. You'll notice they're changing their quarterback. Number 16, Biro. He's the fullback. He was a quarterback. Now, when they get out close to a touchdown, they sometimes use him. We'll be back after we sell something here. Inside the 5, call it the 4. First down and goal for the Utes, and Biro, the fullback, has switched to quarterback now. Notice the power eye. And a handoff to Gerald Johnson. And Johnson with a superb effort, but the Lobos with tremendous defense just keep on fighting. And he stopped just about the 2.
All right, now Johnson's going to try to spin out of this. You saw Marcel Weiss hit him there right in the hole, and it's that pursuit that keeps him from getting in the end zone. I wonder if they're using Biro in this situation, a fullback and quarterback spot, because they don't want Eggers to risk contact down there and when it's tight at the
Well, they have been doing that some in earlier games this year, and he was a quarterback last year, Biro. And that's Gerald Johnson with the Olympic springboard action. I didn't see any signal yet, but it is a touchdown. It is a touchdown. And the Utes take the lead for the first time.
On the goal line, your linemen try to block low so that the ball carrier can go over the top. And that's exactly what Utah executed right there.
Gerald Johnson, the senior 185-pounder, got the TD, and Biro will kick now out of the hold of Lieber. Now keep in mind, every time you see that number 16 holding the ball, that he was a quarterback, so they can run a fake kick at any time with him there. He's a fullback and a quarterback coach. It's good, narrowly, but good, with 1:38 left, or 1:38 gone in the second period, and the Utes lead it now 14-10. It's band night here at UNM Stadium. A lot of high school bands from around New Mexico are here. The Lobo basketball is coming November 16th when the Lobos take the court against the powerhouse team from Yugoslavia. Catch the action only on KGSW TV, Channel 14.
From where?
Yugoslavia.
They have had some great basketball players in the past, and I'm sure they have some more.
And the Utes have put together a couple of good drives, Gary. The first one, 8 plays for 54 yards to a TD, and the second one, 9 plays for 66 yards.
Somehow, defensively, the Lobos are going to have to get some pressure on Eggers, because given time to throw and let his receivers get downfield, that makes it all the more tougher for the defense.
Very small crowd here tonight. Gosh, I think it'll be hard-pressed to be 10,000 here. Marcel Weiss and Whitehead are deep as Lieber kicks it. Weiss picks it up. No, that's Hebert. And Hebert is out to the 34. He's the freshman from Anchorage, Alaska. Tackle by Henning Peterson.
Well, up to this point, the Lobos' success on offense has been options, especially the option off tackle with either James carrying or pitching.
Ned's keeping it near his 40. Got about 5. Clarence Fields, a consumer studies major from San Diego, at cornerback, brought him down. Terrence Mathis not in the ball game tonight, and somehow in our pregame stand-up we didn't mention Terrence. And of course, next to Billy Rucker, he's probably the biggest loss the Lobos could have.
Well, he's the guy that forces the defensive secondary to play back off the line of scrimmage.
They hope he'll be back next week. James with a triple option. Close to the first down, out around the 43-yard line. Again, Clarence Fields is there to grab him. There's Ned, 6 foot, 180. Senior from Los Angeles.
Now, I really don't believe that Ned is reading the first give to the fullback, but instead he's reading the pitch on the corner. He's either going to take it if the end plays the pitch man, or pitch it if the end plays him.
Oh, nice effort by Shane Hall for the first down. Oh, my, that was a good effort to get that first down. And that was on 3rd down, too. Boy, you can give him a bouquet of roses for that.
Well,
maybe he doesn't want roses out. Maybe what else?
Well, he had to change his direction twice. It didn't look like there was anything there, but if he made it, he did it on his own. It's close enough that they're going to bring out the chains.
Special thanks to American Toyota for our sideline camera truck used in this Lobo football telecast on Channel 14. Well, boy, you can give the plaudits to Shane Hall, because he was stopped and they would have had to punt the ball. And when they look back years from now, they'll say that was a big play.
If they score on this drive, it's a big play. You bet.
Ball to Rogers. Out of bounds off of Rogers as he was grabbed by Leo Austin, who was holding on for dear life like a man who fell out of a boat, was afraid he was going to go over the falls. And the ball goes out at the 28 of the Utes as James hit Rogers on the completion. And this was a great effort by Ned James.
Indeed it was. That play was a tertiary or quadrangular receiver, whatever it was. That wasn't the original design of the play.
And James with another good burst to the 23. And the middle linebacker, Joe McGriff, has him. 43, McGriff.
No reason to change anything here. If he sees that opening off tackle, Ned should keep it just as he did right there. Keep
You saw McGriff waving. He wanted some help there. He's coming out. And we have a substitution in for him, Craig Meredith. James against the grain, back to Rogers. Looked like Rogers was juggling in it, and there is going to be a loss of 4-5 on that situation. Utes leading 14-10, 11:20 left in the half. Scott Wagner on the tackle. He's a high school All-American out of Powell, Wyoming, a freshman. And somebody's shaken up one of the Utes.
I believe that play was an example of creative offense. You know?
Like creative financing.
That was creative offense there. That really wasn't a pass. That was a lateral because that was thrown away from the line of scrimmage. And I wonder if Glenn had any designs on throwing the ball downfield then, Glenn Rogers. But
is that why Ben Griffith is gray-haired all of a sudden over there?
Well, there were a lot of thought behind it, that's for sure.
Utes lead by 4. Final harvest moon. That's the way Diz Dean used to tell it. Beautiful New Mexico moon.
But that wasn't the old Diz. That was Consworth Alexander III, noted crooner.
Beautiful moon. Boy, another beautiful New Mexico night here. Temperature in the low 60s. There's a breeze. It's enough to affect the game. And that's Utah Ute who's shaken up. We haven't been able to pick up the number. Looks like he's sitting up now. They've been working on him for a couple of minutes out there. And it's Jeff McMillian, the 290-pound, 6'3" defensive tackle. And he's okay.
Coming off the field on his own power, so couldn't be much seriously wrong there. Lobos faced with a very important situation right here to maintain this drive.
Okay, it's 3rd down and 9 at the Utah 28. Pressure on James, and the ball's dropped by Burgess. So now, do you bring on the field goal kicker? Bill Bell is 0 for 3 on the long-range field goals. They're behind by 4 points. They're bringing Bibbo out. Bibbo's going to try the field goal. The line of scrimmage is the 27, so it'll be a 44-yard, between 43 and 44 yards as Bibbo tries it. He's missed from 37 and 42. He's kicked one from 27 earlier tonight. The wind might help him. Hey, it looks like it could be all right. It is, and it's Utah 14, New Mexico 13 as Bibbo chalks up his second field goal of the night. 11 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first half. So we have a football fireworks demonstration tonight. Connie Alexander with Gary Ness and our Channel 14 crew. The Lobos with 13 points. That's on a 59-yard Kenneth Whitehead run and 2 Bibbo field goals from 27 and 43 yards. And the Utes have scored twice tonight on a 10-yard pass from Eggers to McEwen and a 1-yard run. A springboard dive by Gerald Johnson. Siglock and Hughes are deep for Bell's kickoff with the win.
It's a moonshot, and it'll be a touchback. The official statistics from the first quarter. Total offense, Lobos 123, Utah 71. The Lobos almost doubled them. Lobos got 99 yards with their infantry, 24 through the air. The Utes 29 rushing and 42 passing. And the Lobos led first downs 7-4. And there were no turnovers by either team. And we're ready here with 11 minutes left in the half. The Utes have the ball in a 1-point lead. Egger. Boy, that's a dangerous throw there to Hardy with Whitehead covering. I mean, that is dangerous.
Well, he called an automatic here. He changed the call at the line of scrimmage, this quick out pattern, because Kenneth was playing off of him with a good cushion. Now Kenneth comes up on this Hardy. That number 6 causes Joe Lee some nightmares because he caught 2 long touchdown passes in the game last year against the Lobos.
2nd and 5. Eddie Johnson. You don't want to mess with him. He'll take it all away. He's out to the 48.
Well, and the official got in the way of one of the pursuing linebackers. Let's watch this now. Eddie Johnson, great acceleration, not very big. Nice hole at the line of scrimmage. Cuts back behind Umdenstock. Finally, Marcel Weiss corrals him.
He's got 41 yards on 3 carries. He's had a 14 and a 22-yard burst. He can go. Call it the 46 of the Utes. First down. McEwen, the U-back, is in the reverse motion. And over the middle and dropped by Clyde French, 235-pound tight end out of Carson, California. And Marcel Weiss was all over him. It'll be 2nd and 10.
When Larry Eggers throws that short pass, sometimes he throws it pretty hard. I think he's used to throwing those long ones, and I think that came off of French's shoulder pads right off the breastplate there.
Each team is penalized twice for 15 yards in the first period. Egger hit 3 for 7. James hit 4 for 7 in the first quarter. Those are the official stats. Eddie Johnson tackled by his own shadow. And then dropping on top of him was Randall Bell out of San Antonio.
Randall Bell got between 2 blockers out there and forced Eddie to try to cut back, and when he did, he lost his footing. I'm going to give Randall some credit on that because, well, let's see if we can pick him up in our monitor. Yeah, he had split the blockers right there. Eddie had nothing to do but try to cut inside, and the footing wasn't good enough.
Third and a bunch inside the Ute 45. The Lobos may have it. It's still a Utes ball.
Now, watch.
4th down coming.
Watch number 51 at the top. Bob Umdenstock caused that by his threatening to blitz, which he actually did. But Eggers tried to pull out too soon.
Boy, gorgeous punt by Lieber. Oh my, but there's a flag and it may be roughing. Capitola feels it, and Capitola caught in a Utah manslide. But a flag back at the scene of the punt, and it may be roughing the kicker. It is. Referee Guy Gibbs kicking his right leg, and so it's going to be a first down for the Utes. It was 4th and 15. But boy, I'll tell you, Lieber hit that ball beautifully. And a 15-yard penalty. Here's Guy Gibbs.
Personal foul, running into the kicker there. First down.
Oh boy, that's a big play. It's a 14-13 ball game. The Lobos, instead of having the ball, now the enemy has it at their 45. And a Lobo timeout. And Larry Egger over to talk with the coaching staff with 9:24 left in the half. Watch The Late Show starring Joan Rivers Monday night at 10:35 when Joan's guest will be John Houseman. Gallagher, and musical guest Run DMC. Don't miss her on KGSW TV, channel 14. Hey, we're back to action here. The Utes 1st and 10 on the Lobo 45. McEwen in motion. Hager sets up. He's got McEwen for 9 yards. And Cole has a tackle. He came into the game with 60 tackles, 40 of them unassisted. Some scores from other action. UCLA beat California 36-10 out on the coast. And get this score. Washington bleached Bowling Green 48-0.
So hard to cover a man in motion when the man turns around and then crosses the line of scrimmage parallel back, coming back again. And that's what McEwen did.
2nd and 1. McEwen for the first down on the curl. Hager got dumped. He's on his feet, though. Cole on the tackle, a 220-pound senior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. First down, marking on the Lobo 32, 8:40 left in the half. Utes 14, Lobos 13.
It's easy to see why number 80, McEwen, is the leading receiver in the WAC. They like to put him in motion. They like to make someone run with him, and if you don't cover him right away, they throw the ball to him right away.
Hager's with a good job looking for Ritchie, and the coverage by Crum. Good work by Crum. There was some fine football on that one.
Yes, indeed. Thomas got turned completely around, probably before we'll pick it up in the monitor. Now, first of all, Torrey Edwards puts good pressure on him. Now, he has to loft this ball. Now, Thomas is turned completely around in the end zone, but recovers to the ball well. In fact, almost ended up with the interception.
Ritchie's a great receiver to wit. He set a national junior college receiving record year before last with 83 catches. Caught 73 at Utah last year. 7th in the nation. There goes Eddie Johnson. First down on the 11. Thomas Crum was the goalie. 8 minutes left in the half. And the Utes are on the Lobos' front porch.
Now there's a blitz coming from the top. Now when you blitz, you can't run by the man right there. We saw the blitzer run by. Once you run by a ball carrier, you just have to hope your secondary tackles him.
Eddie Johnson's career rushing. How much has he got tonight? He's got 60. For his career, that gives him 1,735 yards right to this moment. He's averaged almost 6 yards a carry. 1st and 10. Looking for the TD for Ritchie, and Kirkendall breaks it up. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 11. Kirkendall, a transfer from Henderson County, Texas Junior College. He's a junior from Longview, Texas.
This is the mirror of the play they completed for a touchdown earlier. Ritchie likes to throw it to the far corner of the end zone. Don Kirkendall makes a nice recovery to bat it away.
Hager tonight batting better than 500, as you see. 8 for 15. 2nd and 10. Utes lead by 1. McEwen gives them triple receivers right. Eddie Johnson makes his cut, and Johnson, Weiss, and Umden stop. Arrest him around the 7-yard line. These teams have played only one mutual opponent, San Diego State. San Diego State beat the Lobos by 4, and San Diego State beat Utah by 7. So based on that one mutual opponent, it means the Lobos should be 3 points better.
And similar games. Both were high-scoring games. Both, all 4 teams scored in the 30s.
Both were played on the losers' home turf. Too high for McEwen, who was shadowed by Weiss. And McEwen shaken up. Took a hard fall. He was in an awkward position. McEwen is the wounded warrior, 207-pound senior, 6'1", the leading receiver in the WAC. Tonight, McEwen has caught 5 for 62. That gives him 26 catches for the year. He's okay. Probably had the wind knocked out of him.
When you come down flat on your back, let's see if that's what happens. You get the wind knocked out of you, and he's popped up on his feet again. That's good news. Good coverage there. He would have had, the ball was a little high. He would have had to make a really fine catch to hang on to that.
Surprise! It's a field goal try here now from about 24 yards. Sort of be into the wind. It's wide right. No good. 7 minutes left in the half. And the Lobos fight off the Utah Utes. Utes 14, the Lobos 13. So the Lobos will take over at the 20-yard line now on a touchback situation. And let's quickly give you some scores of other games. In the Southwest Conference, Texas Tech beat Rice 49-21. SMU beat Houston 10-3. Arkansas and Texas playing tonight. Texas A&M beat Baylor 31-30. Wow, as Jackie Sherrill and Grant Taft lock horns. And the Aggies beat the Bears. And here is Ned James escaping for 8 yards. Ned James tonight. James in 9 carries has 27 yards. Of course, he was sacked a time or two. To subtract from that, it'll be 2nd down and 1. North Texas State beat TCU 24-20. That's where Gary used to be an assistant coach. Also, Hayden Fry was the head coach there at one time, and his Iowa team lost on the last play to Michigan by 3 today on a field goal. Here's James. Can't get the first down. It'll be 3rd and about a yard. P.J. Williams, or is that Tika Manu? Tika Manu made the tackle, a 258-pounder. He's the fellow we mentioned is a nationally ranked Golden Gloves boxer at 258.
I would hate to get in the ring with a 258-pound nationally ranked boxer.
Well, I would too. I'd hate to get outside the ring with him. 3rd and 1. Rogers in motion. Trying to draw him offside. Burgess, first down. Good defensive play by Craig Meredith. Burgess with the carry.
Now watch, Ned ran out there and forced the end to come play him, and then he pitched the ball back to Burgess. Pursuit catches him, but he read it well that time. He did not on the previous play.
Burgess having a good night, 5 carries for 28. That gives him 484 up to the minute. James spurts for 2 to his 36. P.J. Williams ensnares him. P.J. is a 234-pound outside linebacker. He was in the National Honor Society at Palmdale, California. Draw play to Burgess. Close to the first down, but from here it does not appear to be enough. They will probably measure at the point where Craig Meredith made the tackle.
Watch Steve Beggs, number 66. He turns out, faces the man. Now, if the man runs around him to the outside, he doesn't have to block him. But if he tries to come back inside where the ball's going to be, then Beggs has to step up there and block him. Nice job by 66, Steve Beggs.
They're not even going to measure. It's about a half yard shy. They just need a foot or so. A wall of blockers for Hall for the first down. Well, Ned James doing a good job. He's only been practicing at quarterback this year for 2 weeks.
Well, I should say he's doing a great job, and the team is rallying behind Ned. Ned has fun. This is a position he wants to play. Now watch the right side of the line take off. They have great, what line coaches call get off on the ball when the ball's snapped.
Lobo 46, first down. Bootleg to Hall. Caught by Wheelwright at the Utah 24. Hall had 8 catches before tonight.
Beautifully conceived play. This is a naked bootleg. No blockers out there. He's depending upon the flow and the action of the backs to fake it. Looking to plant that ball on his hip. Comes out. Sees Hall has a step on the linebacker. Flips it to him. Good gain.
3:43 left in the half. Utes 14, Lobos 13. And Ned dances to the 22, where Bob Jenkins, an economics major from Mission Viejo, California, 231-pound tackle, apprehends him. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Lobos. Still have that strong breeze. Looks like it's from the south-southeast. Run and shoot offensive alignment. Draw play to Burgess. He may go all the way. Touchdown! And the Lobos move back into the lead.
If you want to see something, watch Burgess make a very auspicious cut right behind the official who takes out 2 Utah defenders. Now watch this. He'll break it slightly to the right. There he is. A great cut by Kevin Burgess to use the official as a blocker.
Now, you know, the umpire in a football game is in a hazardous position. I was doing a game at West Point one time, and I saw the umpire, the Army fullback, went right up his back. You just see nothing but cleat marks.
Just to show how a turnabout is fair play, Eddie Johnson made a draw play earlier in the half and for the Utah Utes and got the same benefit. The umpire blocked out one of the Lobo defenders, so it was a turnaround.
Burgess' second touchdown, or his first touchdown of the night, is 5th of the year, and in 7 carries tonight, Burgess has 57 yards. That's better than 8 yards each time out of the chute. Now the Lobos will have to decide whether to go for 1 or 2. They're ahead 19-14. And there is a conference. There is Ben Griffith. And Paul Cates is the red-haired coach, and Bob Lennon looking over their shoulder, and Joe Sparks off to the right, the assistants. Brent Kelly, 13, talking with James. You'd almost have to bet money they're going to go for 2.
Oh, I would, sure. Utes are sitting at 14, and then 2 would give the Lobos 21, force them to have to make the conversion. Yes, there's nothing to lose here at towards the end of the first half by going for 2.
2:55 left in the half. We don't see a kicking tee or a place kicker out there. And they're coming up in the wishbone. Both ends are split. Ends are about 5 yards inside the boundaries. Burgess trying the middle for the 2 points, and they fail, and it remains Lobos 19, Utah 14, 2:55 left. Let's look at some scores of other games. Down SEC way, Auburn beat Georgia Tech 31-20. Georgia beat Vanderbilt 38-16. LSU and Kentucky are playing tonight. Florida beat Rutgers 14-3 as we look again at Burgess' try for 2. Alabama beat Tennessee 56-28. And up in the Big Ten, Michigan State over Illinois 29-21. Michigan beat Iowa 20-17 on that field goal in the last 5 seconds. Minnesota sneaked by Indiana 19-17. Wisconsin outlasted Northwestern 35-27. In the Big 8, Colorado over Iowa State 31-3. K-State beat its neighbor Kansas 29-12. Nebraska had an easy time with Missouri 48-17. And everybody's still happy up in Switzerland as Oklahoma beat Oklahoma State 19-0. Killed by Hughes in the end zone. It'll be a touchback. And the Utes have 2:55 left in the half as they trail by 5 points.
And the way Larry Eggers and company have been going, there's plenty of time here for the Utes to come back with another score.
Egger is 8 for 16 tonight for 106 yards.
See a happy Kevin Burgess there.
Couple of yards for Eddie Johnson. He caught 19 passes before tonight. I don't think he's caught one yet tonight. No, he hasn't. And watch for him, because he's caught 19 in the first 4 games. And with his dazzling running ability, boy, he can hurt you bad anytime he gets his hands on the ball. Just give him a blocker or two. Philip Vaughn on the last tackle. Clock rolling. 2:25 left. Complete to Bureau. And he's got the first down. And that'll stop the clock at 2:18. And Kelvin Johnson, the Lobo linebacker from Dallas, a senior, gets credit for that tackle. Some scores of other games. Yale over Columbia, 47-0. Cornell over Brown. Harvard over Dartmouth. Holy Cross beat Army. Boston College killed Louisville. Johnson on the carry. Gained maybe a yard. 1:55 left in the half. John Avila made the tackle for the Lobos. East Carolina beat Georgia Southern 35-33. Georgia Southern's where Ben Griffith was a coach before he came here. 2nd and 9. Utes at their 32. Out of the backfield to Ritchie. And Ritchie, did he get out of bounds? No, he did not. At his own 44. The clock showing 1:29 stopped on the first down. And it'll start as soon as they set the chains. Clock's a big factor here. Lobos lead by 5. Umdenstock and Crum on the tackle.
All right, this is the previous play with Eddie Johnson running the draw, which really didn't go anywhere.
Penn State beat Syracuse 42-3 today. Flags stopped this play. Ritchie has caught 3 for 52 tonight. Illegal procedure against the Utes. Ritchie came into the game with 14 catches, but he really did that in only 2 games. He missed the first 2.
Ball start on the offense. First down.
1:17 and the clock rolling. 1st and 15. Utes at their 39. Ritchie almost intercepted by Whitehead, and Weiss was also there on the coverage. Ritchie had good time, planted his feet well, and went to the heavy artillery, but he overshot his receiver.
He sure did, but the Lobos are playing a prevent coverage. They're playing behind everything. Even though Egger has a lot of time to throw, Marcel Weiss and Kenneth are back there to come up on the ball and recover to it. Well played.
2nd and 15, 1:01 left, first half. Lobos only rushing 3. And a good catch by Kurt Jones, and he's close to the first down with 51 seconds. The clock stops. Tom Cole, the senior linebacker, makes the tackle with help from Philip Vaughn, a sophomore defensive end.
Larry Egger makes this play by keeping the ball, by keeping out of people's hands long enough for Jones to get free. And Jones does a good job leaping high to get the ball and then falling forward over the first down yard.
Live action again. And Jones again, and he's out of bounds inside the Lobo 25 in the arms of Cole once more. Jones got 6 passes before tonight. And let's see if Kurt Jones is on the books tonight. He's caught 2 for 37. Just inside the Lobo 25, where it's first down with 37 seconds left in the half, and the clock rolling down to 34 now.
What a thread the needle play that was, right between 2 Lobo defenders. Now Larry Egger has had to call a timeout. Use the timeout here. The only way, I believe, at this point that the Lobos can keep them from scoring is to put enough pressure on Egger to take a loss. Now they're getting in field goal range, and they're going to have to come with a blitz or something to put pressure on Egger and create a loss.
The Lobos will be aided by a little bit of longitudinal restriction. I was going to try to work.
Would you interpret that for me?
I was going to try to work in clavicular, but 30 seconds left. But it's at the 25-yard line of the Lobos. and it's 1st and 10, and I don't think the Utes are particularly enthused about the idea of a field goal, but
well, they're discussing, Larry Eggers down there with Jim Fassel discussing it.
the Los Lunas band, it's band night here at University Stadium. High school bands from all around. Beautiful array of colors. Did you ever play in the band, Gary?
No, I didn't.
I used to play the harmonica, not in the band. I'm available for harmonica performances.
Okay, don't call us, we'll call you.
Egger has the word now, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Be a lateral. No, they're ruling it a pass. From this vantage point, it looked like it was slightly forward. And referee guy gives signal it as an incomplete pass.
Watch John Avila break through there now. See the guy on John Avila? Oh, I think he was held, and I think it was fairly evident to people watching the play here in the stands.
It kind of gives us an opportunity to mention there is a legal clipping zone in the line of scrimmage at the time of the snap. That's something never really gets talked about.
No legal holding zone, but a legal clipping zone.
2nd and 10 at the 25. That's Harry out of bounds. Carl Harry out of bounds at the 18. Stops the clock with 16 seconds left. Thomas Crum on the scene defensively.
And this is a long throw to the flat here for Egger. Rifles it out here.
And a quick throw toward Harry. Stops the clock with 3 seconds left in the half. And the field goal kicker, Lieber, is coming on, number 4. So the line of scrimmage is the 18. They're going to put the tee on the 25. It'll be a 35-yard try for Lieber. Lieber has not had a successful field goal try this year. This one is going to be close. It's wide to the right again. Now we must repeat, the wind is sort of from the southeast, so it's kind of a headwind, kind of a side wind, and time expires here in the first half.
Good game, a lot of scoring, a lot of moving the ball up and down the field. Kind of what we expected, Connie.
So the Lobos lead by 5 at the half, and we'll have the official stats for you shortly. Halftime at University Stadium, the Lobos enjoying a 5-point lead in a wide-open, woolly football game here tonight. We're going to show you some highlights. The Lobos' big excitement of the evening was a touchdown run by Kenneth Whitehead on an option reverse that produced a 59-yard TD, and this is the way it looked.
Watch Pat Capitola at the top of your screen take out the cornerback, which allows Kenneth Whitehead, number 7, to turn the corner.
Kenneth has good speed for a man who weighs 200, stands 6'3". Look at that stride.
Oh, it took the words right out of my mouth. Look at that stride.
He's also a defensive back. Now Egger passing for a touchdown to the U-back McEwen.
Long pass, not in terms of downfield, but across the field into the far corner of the end zone. Here's a field goal.
Bibbo, who kicked 2 in the first half.
Connie, we
from 27 yards and from 43 yards, and so the Lobos lead 19-14.
I think an important stat that doesn't show up here is that the Lobos scored on 4 of their 5 possessions of the first half.
Very interesting. And you see the passing, Utah, not surprisingly, with 169 yards. They only have 93 rushing for their total of 262. The Lobos, 81 passing, and then 171 rushing for a total of 252. So look at that total yards, an even game. Now that turnover situation, that is erroneous. The right-hand column should not be 3. That should be a 0. There are no turnovers by either team in this game. We repeat, no turnovers. The graphic is wrong. Penalties, 3 on each side. And notice the first downs are just about even. So it's been just about that even a football game.
It's even more even. It is even more even than the score indicates. How's that for?
The teams are taking the field, and so we'll be back with the kickoff. And the Lobos will be kicking off in the second half. The Utes, who trail by 5, will get the first crack at the pigskin. Siglock and Hughes are the deep backs, and that's Hughes electing to ground it. So we will see Egger at quarterback. Egger in the first half completed 13 for 24 for 169 and a TD. Ned James had a good first half passing, 6 for 10, 81 yards, and he ran for 33. Burgess carried 60 yards on 6 times. Eddie Johnson of the Utes, 8 carries for 66. Egger on a swing, batted down by Martinez. Looking for Johnson.
Martinez missed a lineman's dream. There is chance for glory. But it was a nice play. Had he not knocked that down, there were blockers out in front. That play could have developed into something.
Biro coming out from the fullback post. Eddie Johnson is the single setback. Both ends split. McEwen is the U-back in slow motion. And Eddie Johnson just takes it up on the middle on a modified draw for about 4.
Now that play worked fairly effectively. Johnson had over 60 yards rushing in the first half. He's their main ball carrier, and that draw is the main play that he runs on. Get those big guys up in front to open a hole. He gets to pick and choose on a draw play because he gets the ball so deep.
3rd and 4. 3rd and 6. And tremendous play by Cole, forcing Egger to pass short of McEwen. Well, that was a job by Cole, and Lieber comes on to punt. Interesting statistic, each team punted only once in the first half. Lieber hit a 37-yarder. Oh, he shanks this one. Oh, and he gives the Lobos great field position at the Ute 44.
It was a shank. That was an accurate description of it. He got it off the side of his foot. There didn't seem to be that much pressure on it. But what a golden opportunity now for Ned James and the offense of the Lobos.
Boy, he got only 20 yards on that one. So he's averaged 28 and a half on 2 kicks tonight. Lobos first down on the Ute 44. Hall, who caught 2 in the first half, in motion. Sprint out. James behind Burgess. Hits Rogers. Tight ropes it to the 17. Austin curbed him. Rogers in the first half. Caught. 1 for 27.
Sprint out pass. Now Rogers is going to hang on the sideline. The outside receiver runs an inside route to draw the defender in. You know, that pass was laid in there perfectly so that Glenn didn't have to break stride. Nice job by Ned James.
First down on the 18. Almost picked off by Jenkins. Jenkins, the big defensive tackle, 6'3". Looking for Hall. Jenkins, number 52. Looks like a gladiator, doesn't he?
Jenkins was covering in the flat because the linebacker on his side rushed and was in James' face. So Utah gambled a little bit with their defense, and it paid off.
2nd and 10 on the Ute 18. The bootleg. Broken up on a great play by Wheelwright, and a flag is thrown. Wheelwright was covering Hall, and the flag came a couple of seconds after the incompletion. The question, why? Guy Gibbs over talking with one of his colleagues.
Same exact play.
Here's the step off by, it's down to just outside the 5-yard line. Maybe they're going to call interference.
Not going to call anything now, but that was used in the same part of the field earlier in the game for the for a completion.
I didn't see or hear Guy Gibbs with a signal or any announcement. Burgess fighting it down close to the goal line, and Wheelwright makes the tackle.
Kevin's such a good man to run in the on the goal line situation. He sort of smells the goal line, keeps his balance, goes through a couple of tackles, and ends up at the 2 for a long 1.
2nd and goal at the 1. Sneak by James. Touchdown. 25-14 Lobos.
Great surge by that offensive line. James just had to fall forward, and there was no question about it. Sometimes on those sneaks on the goal line, it's hard to tell, but no question about that one. Watch them as a unit. Watch them go. Beggs, Maney, McCabe, Taylor.
And Bibbles, extra point good. Lobos 26. And the Utes 14. Guerrilla ball by Bell, and it'll be a touchback at the U20. The wind has picked up a little bit. It's definitely a factor.
Well, we saw Bell's kickoffs in the first quarter against that same wind and how they were hanging up. And boy, that strong tailwind just carries him right out of the back of the end zone now as Joe Lee watches.
And Eddie Johnson unravels about 7 before Bob Umdenstock hits him. Umdenstock, one of the leading tacklers for the Lobos the last 2 years. 54 tackles coming into tonight. 43 unassisted. Another look at Johnson, who pedaled 66 yards on 8 efforts in the first half. Better than 8 yards each time. The eye with a flanker right and the left end split. Once more, it's Eddie Johnson. Out to about the 37-yard line of the Utes, where it's 1st and 10. That's where Torrey Edwards made the tackle. No, we were mentioning, you mentioned the windows, the glass, or I mentioned the windows, but we're getting a lot of our own reflection in the glass, so sometimes it does impede the view. But that is a hazard that the press encounters in some press boxes around the country. Not all of them, fortunately. Gerald Johnson out to the 46-yard line, and Marcel Weiss makes the tackle.
It appears as though Jim Fassel's made a decision against this wind. Let's quit fooling around. Let's run right at the Lobos. Johnson, or Gerald Johnson, has been running the ball now consecutive plays. Let's see if they continue.
Second and about 3. And Mendonca is the quarterback, and he's got Ritchie, but he misses it. Mendonca is the quarterback now for the Utes. He's the young man who came in last week. Threw 2 touchdown passes at Wyoming after Egger was hurt. It's going to be 3rd down. Just inside the 46. About 2.5 yards to go. Now Egger's back in. No, it's Bureau. Bureau is back in there, not quarterback. He's the guy who's the fullback who was converted from quarterback, and now he comes in and runs. So the Utes have used 3 different quarterbacks tonight. Thomas Crum. There is Brian Bureau. He's a junior weighs 212. He's run for 91 yards this year. Now let's see, is Mendonca back in?
Yes.
Mendonca, number 6 and number 13 at quarterback. And that's Gerald Johnson for 5 or 6 yards inside the Lobo 40 with almost 4 minutes gone in the third quarter. Randall Bell on the tackle. Lobos lead 26-14.
Utah seems content to run the ball, and they're not even going to have their passer in the game. They're just going to use Mendonca and Biro and keep shoving it right at the Lobos.
2nd and 5. Mendonca sets him at a 9. Fakes the draw. Almost intercepted by Crum. Hardy, the intended receiver. Clock stop, 10:47 left, third period. And Crum, what's Crum doing down there? He's got an injured ankle, I think.
I believe he is. The officials have called a timeout. Mendonca can, he plants the ball here and he throws hard.
A cramp, Gary. Yeah, I believe he's got a cramp, Crum in his leg.
I hope you're right.
Watch number 6 for the Lobos. See, he slips there. Now he's walking off. One of the Lobo trainer, I think it's Larry Willock, helping him. He's on his feet. There's Todeem.
I hope you're right, Connie. If you are, we'll see Thomas Crum, number 6, back in action here before long. He's been very valuable to the Lobo defense this year.
Took kind of a strange fall on that left leg or left hip. 3rd and 5 at the 39 of the Lobos. And the pitch to Biro for the first down. And Whitehead drives him out of bounds inside the 30 at the 28, maybe the 27. Kenneth Whitehead, the 200-pound cornerback from Detroit, who scored the Lobos' first touchdown. Lobos lead 26-14.
There you see the U-back. McEwen out in front. Biro. Tell you what, the Lobos are having difficulty stopping is the run.
On the 27 of the Lobos, first down. Biro at quarterback now. And they set in a power I. And Biro rolls for about 3. And Umdenstock rolls him. And we want to thank Frank Supply for our end zone camera platform used in our telecast here on Channel 14.
All right, now he fakes the counter option here. And Bob Umdenstock, number 51, is going to get a hand on him, and had he not, why, Biro had the opportunity to cut up inside for more yardage.
Mendonca, 13, back at quarterback. 15 for 32 before tonight. Oh, Martinez was right on his tail feathers. No, that was Lavelle right on his tail feathers. He tried to hit Biro. Coverage by Weiss and Lara.
Now watch
68, Lavelle right here.
He's got that play diagnosed from the beginning, and Orlando Lavelle is somebody that the Lobo coaches are very proud of. He has really improved this year.
Weighs 260. 3rd down from the 24, 7 to go. Eddie Johnson. Good move by Johnson, and he's all the way to about the 12-yard line. Eddie Johnson, boy oh boy, putting on a show. Let's see how much Eddie's got here tonight. He's close to the 100 mark. That took him up to 99 yards. 12 carries for 99 yards for Eddie Johnson. And that's another first down. And it's on the Lobo 13 with a score. Lobos 26, Utes 14. 10 minutes left, third quarter. Mendonca has a great arm. 2 TD passes last week at Laramie. BYU beat Wyoming today at Laramie. Uh-oh, a loose ball back there. I think the Lobos may have this one. They do. The Lobos come up with it. A signal by Guy Gibbs. There's a flag on the play, though. See what Gibbs has to say. offside against the Lobos. And it was Umdenstock who pounced on the ball. Let's take a look. It was a mix-up here at the snap.
In fact, number 51 crossing the line of scrimmage is the reason the ball doesn't get back to the quarterback. Bob Umdenstock had broken the plane, and actually I think it gotten a piece of the ball.
Well, it looks like it might have been Liddell who fell on the ball. First down and 5 at the 8-yard line. After the penalty. Eddie Johnson. 47 is Torrey Edwards for the Pack. Torrey was in on 38 tackles before tonight. About half of those unassisted. Ball on the 7. Second and 3. And that's Mendonca pitching it out to Eddie Johnson.
That's the play that's been troubling the Lobos all night. Pitch sweep.
Excuse me, 2nd and 3. And Biro is in at quarterback again. He's the fullback. Switches over to quarterback. It looks like Gerald Johnson waltzing through. And I think he got the first down. Kelvin Johnson made the tackle. They put the ball on the 3, and that should be enough for first down. That Guy Gibbs says let's measure it. Biro, number 16, rallying his mates. Well, what a player to have. He can play fullback, play quarterback.
Something else that's impressed me about the Utes in this drive. It's been a very business-like drive, as you see them mark the first down. And the Utes are getting out of their huddle quickly. They're substituting 3 or 4 players each play, jumping out, coming up using short snap counts, and the Lobo defense just are being caught on their heels. And that's been true in this entire drive.
First and goal from the 3. Gerald Johnson close and there. And it's 26-20. Steve Webster made the hit, but Gerald Johnson got his touchdown. Johnson, who in the first half had 6 carries for 30 yards, and now he's got himself a touchdown.
Spinning, driving into the end zone. Very well executed drive from start to finish by the Utah Utes.
Lieber for the extra point. Biro to hold. He's got it. And so the Utes are back within 5 with 8:45 to go in the third period. All right. Both teams are over reviewing everything with their respective coaches. You can see the vast number of empty seats here at University Stadium. Guess everybody's watching the World Series tonight.
I think that certainly cut into the crowd. There's no doubt about that. They're missing a good game because this is last team to score is going to win this one, I believe.
The official attendance is announced at 15,979, but I think there's a bunch of no-shows.
Yeah, I think you're right. Lobos should try to make do with what they can this quarter while the wind is at their backs. That wind, I believe, as you say, has picked up a little bit in this half. A little stronger than it was in the first half.
Lieber will kick off. Whitehead running it back. Sort of got it under his apron there for a while. Gets it out to the 26.
That's the first time I can recall that Kenneth has run back a kickoff this year. They've been using the 2 freshmen, Thomas and Hebert, up to this point in the game.
Well, you talk about an all-around player. They're using him at cornerback, kickoff returns, pass receiver. Ran the touchdown on the option reverse. 59-yard TD. Mr. Everything. Arbonne with a great catch on Ned James' pass out to the 44.
You know, you talk about concentration. Now watch. Ned will wait here. Ned does a good thing to wait for Arbonne to clear the linebacker, and watch him adjust to the ball. Keith is a real craftsman at catching the ball.
Ned James again. One man has a shot. Wheelwright gets him. But not before he got inside the 25.
The success formula for the Lobo offense has been run the off-tackle option, and Ned has been reading it well there, and he puts a move on the corner. Inside, gets inside, but now Wheelwright, the safety, can get up there just enough to knock him out of bounds. Nice run.
Ned James has 57 yards on 14 carries. First down at the Ute 25. The Lobos lead 26-21. Draw play to Burgess. He breaks away and he's going to go. Yeah. And Burgess has his second touchdown, and the Lobos have a 32-21 lead with the conversion try coming.
That is almost the same sequence from the same part of the field as we saw in the second quarter. Now watch this. Now watch him run out of a tackle here. Strong legs. I'm almost willing to say he's 200 pounds now, Connie. Gained over halftime.
I think he broke Tika Manu's tackle. Conversion by Bebo, and the Lobos by 12. Bell will kick off. The wind is kicked up to probably 12, 14, 15 miles an hour, and it is definitely a substantial factor. It appears to be out of the southeast. It's almost more a crosswind than a tailwind right now. Siglock, that's Steve Siglock, and Darren Hughes is the other run-back man. Siglock is a freshman. He's an all-stater at Riverside, California. Hey, this thing will go to the goal post. Hughes fields it. 75-yard kick by Bell. Wind aided. And another look at Burgess' run. Let's see if number 45 is a man he breaks free from here. Yeah, there he is. Now that's the guy we said is the nationally ranked Golden Gloves fighter. 258, Tika Manu. Spelled T-I-K-A-M-A-N-U. Chris Mendonca at quarterback. And Bell tackles Eddie Johnson. Maybe Kevin Burgess knew he was a nationally ranked fighter. That's maybe the reason he broke free so quickly.
Well, yeah, it could be. I don't think he gave it much thought, though, frankly. I think he saw that daylight up in front and stepped out of there to get it.
Nebraska beat Missouri 48-17 today. Johnson close to the first down, and Don Carpenter made the tackle, the junior from Albuquerque.
Now let's watch Torrey Edwards, 47 at the bottom of the screen. Now he's the guy who turns this play in right there. Now Johnson wriggles out of Edwards' tackle, but give Torrey some credit on that play. 32 waist on Torrey Edwards. 32 waist, you say, on Torrey Edwards?
And he wears a size 50 jacket. He and I trade jackets a lot.
Oh, no.
First and 10 at the 30. Mendonca for Biro, who cannot hold it. Covered by Randall Bell, the junior left outside linebacker.
This is a razzle-dazzler because there's reverse action. You see the man coming across the formation at the top. That is to try to fool a secondary, but he didn't get the pass completed. Looks like Kenneth Whitehead was in the area anyway.
Second and 10. 7 minutes left, third quarter. Lobos lead 33-21. And Gerald Johnson is arrested by the Lobos, led by Torrey Edwards. Next question is, where is Egger? We've got to try to look, Gary, and see if we can spot him. If he's been shaken up, or if his shoulders hurt more, or what the cat hair is going on here.
He has been standing right next to the offensive coordinator with his helmet on. It doesn't look like there's anything physically wrong at all.
He had a sore shoulder on his passing arm from the Wyoming game. Mendonca, a bullet on a hook to Ritchie. Ritchie in the first half caught 3 for 51. Carpenter made the tackle. Let's see Ritchie's receiving statistics. Tonight he's caught 4 for 69 yards.
Strong throw. You talk about Mendonca's arm earlier, and there's good evidence of it right there.
He can wing it. First down at the Ute 48. Mendonca reads the coverage. And a great falling catch by Carl Harry. First down at the Lobo 37. And there is Fred Mady, who was injured earlier in the game. Remember, he went off favoring his right leg. Now he seems to be putting some weight on that right leg.
Well, and I was just about to comment that they miss Fred Mady right now, because watch the time Mendonca has back here, just standing there in the pocket. No particular pressure by anyone. And
Gerald Johnson. Lavelle on the tackle. Lavelle 6'3", 260, a junior.
All right, now you see if Utah comes back with a throw off of running action, with Mendonca stepping in to throw hard.
There's Billy Rucker in the gray and jacket with the white sleeves, giving sideline inspiration to his mates. Billy had to give up the game. They had Billy Rucker Day for him in Gallup last night, his hometown. Mendonca looking. Boy, good coverage in that Lobo secondary, but Ritchie breaks free, and he scores. Now, Whitehead was trailing him. I mean, it was a real detective job, but Ritchie was putting on all kind of moves, more moves than a belly dancer out there, and got away from Whitehead.
The key to this is he breaks containment. Now look, he's standing there, still no pressure. Now he gets out wide. Now he's got all the time he wants, but he sees Ritchie work free. With that much time, I would never fault the secondary with that much time to throw.
No, I wasn't faulting him.
Yeah.
And here is the kick. Good by Lieber out of Biro's hold, and we again have a 5-point game with 4:52 left in the third. The Lobos with a narrow margin. Gary, we got a game going here tonight, 33-28 Lobos.
Well, we mentioned the possibility of this ending up with as much scoring as that game up in Salt Lake City last year, and it's on course.
Yeah, it was 58-49 up there last year, the Utes. Remember the Lobos scored 21, what was it, last quarter, 21 points? Hebert back deep for the Lobos. He is a lone deep back. Lieber kicks it, the wind holds it up a little bit. Hebert's got it. And that was tantamount to treading water as and a flag is dropped, and there may be a clip. I bet you they're going to call clipping back at the 18-yard line.
I think you're right, and that's going to put the Lobos in a very difficult field position situation. And this is reminiscent of the situation in which they found themselves in the fourth quarter when Billy Rucker got tackled in the end zone and fumbled against San Diego State. So, and I think that's what Joe Lee Dunn's probably telling the Hebert there. Just keep the ball and get positive yardage on those kickoffs. Run out of bounds if you have to.
Watch for a clip here. That could be it right there. Yeah. Penalty from the 18 to the 9, and here's Guy.
We have clipping on the run back. First down.
Guy Gibbs, a very fine gentleman, as I mentioned earlier, the supervisor of basketball officials in the WAC. First down and 10, Lobos from their 9. James gets him out of that ulcer territory, and Joe McGriff halts him after a 7-yard pickup. Let's see Ned's rushing total, 7 for 64 tonight, and he has passed 15 for 64, and he's hit 8 out of 13 passes for 123. That's a good night for Ned James.
And that was an excellent play by Ned because he got the ball upfield for a good 7 yards.
It's a first down as Burgess does the work. And let's see Burgess rushing numbers. 9 carries for 92 yards, averaging over 10 yards a carry, and a Ute is shaken up. And as the Lobos have a first down at the 21-yard line. What is that, number 43? That would be Joe McGriff, their middle linebacker.
There's one of our intrepid cameramen,
Richard Garcia.
Richard Garcia down on the truck. Let's give some credit to that offensive line. First downs are hard to make when you're backed up in your own end zone like that, and they're very important first downs. That offensive front created that one on those 2 plays.
McGriff looks like he'll be okay. Monday night at 7 o'clock, Deborah Carr stars in Barbara Taylor Bradford's A Woman of Substance. Don't miss this 3-part miniseries on KGSW TV, Channel 14. Ned James, tackled by Craig Meredith, the middle linebacker replacement. On the Lobo 26, 2nd and 5, 3:44 left in the 3rd period. Lobos lead by 5. And Burgess and it takes Austin and Fields to get him. Oh, that Burgess is pouring it on.
The last 2 plays, it appears as though Ned is reading the give to the fullback out of the wishbone. The last 2 plays he looked at. The previous one when he kept, this time when he gave it to Burgess. And I believe that may be happening.
First down at the 48-yard line of the Utah Utes. Good cut by Ned Burgess and a good spin by Ned James to the 42-yard line. Ned Burgess on my mind because, you know, there was an article in one of the newspapers a day or 2 ago about the possibility that he could have a 1,000-yard season. Well, right up to this minute, he's got 575 yards in the first 6 3/4 games, and he's got 5 1/4 games left. Second down, about 4 to 42. Burgess again. Good block by Capitola. And out of bounds at the 13. Maybe the 14, we'll see. Oh my, that line is paving the way, and then Burgess is turning on the afterburners. Leo Austin on the tackle.
You are right. Bob London's offensive line are just making great holes on this draw play. They're so conscious of stopping Ned James on the sprint out that every time they run this draw, it's been a money earner for them.
At the 14, first down and 10. Lobos with a 5-point lead. And they dial Burgess's number again for about 2. Better let him rest for a down here. P.J. Williams on the tackle.
We don't want Burgess to get greedy. He's going for that 1,000 yards tonight.
Yeah, just after we said he was up to 575. Since that time, he's gained 31 more. So that's 606. Came into the game with 456. And James keeps it. Chopped down at the 8. Gamaliel Rivers, a sociology student, 245, makes the stop. Utah coach Jim Fassel. Jim was a quarterback for a while for the Chicago Bears, the San Diego Chargers, the Houston Oilers. He's the guy we mentioned recruited and coached John Elway at Stanford when he was an assistant there. And Fassel led the Utes to 10 new NCAA and 6 new WAC records last year. And the Utes also led the nation last year in turnovers gained and fumbles recovered. And they're winless this year. What a difference a year makes. James looking for Kelly. Touchdown! Brent Kelly on the reception. Ned James with the throw. And the Lobos lead 39-28. Fine work by James and Kelly.
The third time they've run this play tonight. Now this is a reverse. Now the containment, however, is getting more wary. Now you see he can't get outside right away, so he has to put a move on him. Now he gets outside. As we see Joe Bibbo's kick.
And Bibbo makes it 40. Lobos 40. Utes 28. Third quarter. Back at University Stadium, Connie Alexander, Gary Ness, watching Ned James put some moves on Utes defender Greg Smith. He's looking for Kelly in the end zone. Boy, that was close to being a trap.
Yes.
But they ruled that it was a catch.
There was an official right there.
In the third period. And the Lobos have had the ball 3 times in this half and have scored all 3. A 44-yard drive, a 74-yard drive, and this last one, a 91-yard drive.
You know, the guys who are getting cold on the sidelines are the punters.
Well, that is interesting. Ron Keller's punted only once tonight, and Lieber's punted twice. Bell is getting a workout with his leg. Hughes will pedal it out of there. Floorboards it to the 20, to the 32. Kirkendall on the tackle.
Well, question is now, can the defense stop them here once more, try when they've got the wind at their backs? Utah seems content to run at them hard in this situation. We'll see if they persist on that course.
Mendonca is at quarterback. Pitch to Biro. Flag on the play. Biro gets a couple. Special thanks to American Toyota. Don Carpenter on the tackle. American Toyota supplies our sideline camera truck we use on the Lobo football telecast here on Channel 14. Gibbs indicating a foul on the Utes on that first down play. 46 seconds left here in the third period. Last year in the game at Salt Lake City, the Lobos gained 630 yards, the Utes 500, 1,130 total.
I got illegal formation, offense, refused, second down.
So the Utes have second down and 9, about 8 at their 35. And against the grain, Cole tackles Eddie Johnson. Looked like maybe Kelvin Johnson was there with him. Boy, Tom Cole, now number 56, you'll see here for the Lobos. There he is. Was the WAC Defensive Player of the Week last week. He had 13 unassisted tackles, 3 of those behind the line of scrimmage. He had 2 sacks. He recovered 2 fumbles. He was just an army of one. Third down and a foot. Biro at quarterback. And the third quarter ends. And after 3 periods, the Lobos lead by a dozen. And it's going to be third down and about a yard for the Utes.
A year ago, these two teams played to 107 points, and after 3 quarters, there are 68 on the board, which at this rate would end up with 91. So they're a little bit behind the pace they set last year, unless somebody gets hot.
And boy, that could happen, Gary. Well, I think we were mentioning the Lobos had like 21 points the fourth quarter last year. Now Biro's at the quarterback, and he sneaks for the first down. Look at that mass of humanity. Running out of the pack is Biro with the ball, but they say no, it was dead back here at the 44. The Utes are trying to fake the officials out. See, there's 2 of them down there, and then there's about 4 or 5 that all ran down to pat Biro on the back. Gibbs says, "You aren't going to con us here." There's Biro. What do you guys mean?
Biro forgets that when whistles blow, people stop, and that's probably why he had the opportunity to run into the end zone.
Here comes Biro's at fullback now, and Mendonca is at quarterback. So Biro's the fullback right behind Mendonca. This is musical quarterbacks here. Here is Mendonca. He's going for all of it, looking for Carl Harry. Incomplete. Whitehead was back there. And Weiss is there. And another Lobo. It looked like Harry might have pushed off with his right hand.
Well,
but
and you know
it was
what?
out of the view of the official.
Something else is this ball travels 73 yards in the air, folks.
Now watch the receiver, the intended receiver's right hand, if you can, just before the ball comes down. See if you can see him push the defender. Watch the guy right. See that?
73 yards. That's a long way.
There's Gerald Johnson. Near midfield. Weiss on the tackle.
It's a nice tackle. He sure did straighten him up nicely, but you hate to have your safety have to make that tackle because that's almost a first down by the time he reaches him.
Third and about 5 at midfield. Final score from the World Series. Red Sox 1, Mets nothing. The Bo Sox win 1-0. Mendonca to Ritchie. Tackle Carpenter. First down. Lobo 45.
A lot of heat there. The Lobos blitzed the linebackers from the bottom of the screen, and Mendonca had to really hustle, but Ritchie works himself free. He's so good at cutting across the flow of the formation.
First down and 10 at the 45. The bomb for Ritchie with coverage by Whitehead. Good work by Whitehead.
Excellent coverage by Whitehead. He kept himself between the receiver and the ball. He had the ball coming over his inside shoulder. He could actually feel the receiver with his outside shoulder. He had perfect position.
I'd like to see a replay on this one.
You mentioned earlier about using his talents, and New Mexico is using Kenneth Whitehead's multiple talents well.
It's second and 10 at the Lobo 45. The Utes trail by 12. A little over 13 minutes left in the game. Oh, the catch by Kurt Jones. And then some good running, although of a short-range nature by Jones down to the Lobo 31. Cole and Umdenstock rattle as ivories.
This gives us an idea about Mr. Jones' strength. Roll out off of a running fake, and Mendonca puts it up. Nice catch, a little high, but nice catch, and bounce off one, then hummed and stock with help from Sean
Speaking
Marmer.
of strength, how about Mendonca's arm strength?
Oh, yeah.
That was a rocket. 1st and 10, Lobo 31. Avila playing in there for Mady. Whitehead. And Eddie Johnson getting up slowly. Let's see Eddie's numbers for the night. 17 carries for 128 yards. Think he can. There's Egger, number 9. See him? It's over the upper right of the screen. He appears to be okay.
Sure.
I don't know why they're not using him.
Well, no, the Lobos haven't been able to stop them. And I think the Utes are just going after the Lobos on the ground a lot and using short counts, switching off, keeping fresh players.
First down for the Utes at the Lobo 21 with 12:40 left. The Utes down by 12. Jolie Dunn sweating it out again.
Yes,
you know, we mentioned the punters, and we've only seen like 3 punts all night. You know, the WAC is 24 years old. Wyoming has won the punting championship 10 years out of those 24. And that's not coincidental with the fact that the altitude up there is 7,200 feet. Gerald Johnson. Piggyback ride by Avila for the tackle. Cole favoring his leg as he gets up.
And still we haven't seen a fumble or an interception. And the way these teams have been running, look at Eddie Johnson there.
Avila doing a good job in place of Fred Mady. And Jim Berryman, Lobo's defensive coordinator, has a lot of praise for Avila. I think he's just a walk-on.
Right, he wasn't recruited.
2nd down at about 8. Harry's there. Boy, he tricked somebody, and the Utes are back in it. It's 40-34.
Soften the line of scrimmage with the runs with Johnson, and then that's just a straight drop back. Wasn't even a running fake. He just worked his way free into the corner.
Lieber will try the extra point. 40-34. And 40-35. This Lobo football telecast, Channel 14, brought to you in part by Coors Light, the Silver Bullet. There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet. Back at University Stadium, Connie Alexander along with Gary Ness, and here are the official statistics for the first 3 periods. Total offense, Utah 430 yards, Lobos 449. That's 879 combined. Last year combined they had 1,130. Rushing, Lobos 315. Lobos 134 passing. Here's the scoring play again from Mendonca to Carl Harry. The Utes had passed for 237 yards in the first 3 periods and ran for 193. The passing statistics, Egger 13 for 26 for 169. Mendonca 3 for 7 for 68 through 3 quarters. That was before that touchdown pass. And Lieber's kickoff is out of bounds, and so they'll have to repeat it. Ned James has had a magnificent night passing. He's gone to the well 14 times, filled the bucket 9 for 134 yards and a touchdown. Burgess is rushed in the first 3 quarters for 149 yards on 12 attempts. And James 18 for 88 rushing.
Some pretty impressive statistics there. The most important one as far as the Lobos are concerned is that 5-point lead, but I know they would like to raise that to 12 again. I know Joe Lee would there on the sidelines.
You know, another impressive statistic, all this yardage, all these muscle explosions, and no turnovers in this game.
That's right. Still no turnovers. Yes, it is. A lot of offense.
There's Brett Hebert, the freshman from Anchorage, Alaska. 190 pounds.
Brett having been lectured to after the last attempt to return, which they ended up on the 9-yard line. So
said, don't go sideways, boy.
He says, go run north and south. In this case, south.
Whoa. He's painted into a corner. Let's see if he can get out. Oh, he fumbles it. Hebert after his own fumble, and he's got it. Or is that, no, it's Kirkendall, 23, not 22. Hebert's 22.
Ooh, well, we were talking about no turnovers, and there's still no turnovers, but wow, that was close. That's as close as we've come tonight.
Here's Brett Hebert. He says, it was never like this at Anchorage.
Does that ball draw a crowd?
And another Lobo loss. They're out front by only 5 points. Kevin Hahn on the tackle, the outside linebacker to the right. They're going to put the ball just inside the 12. Go by the nose of that pigskin. 11:15 left in the fourth period. Lobos 40, Utes 35. And it's second down and 10. James with a play action and almost picked off. Jenkins in the vicinity, and Joe McGriff was up there, 43. Shane Hall was the man Ned James was looking for. 3rd and 10. Now the drama increases.
And I know Joe Lee Dunn's not looking for anything else to be said about, but Scott Maney is limping to and from the huddles, and the Lobos just cannot afford to lose another offensive lineman.
There's 3rd and 10. Oh, and Ned James down on the 9, and it's going to be 4th and about 13. 10:51 to play. Tika Manu, number 45, on the tackle. 6'4" junior, 258.
Now this sprint out to James left, there are several times here where he wants to throw. In fact, he almost flips it to Burgess right there. Now he probably wishes he had. First punt of the second half.
And Hardy has it at the Lobo 45. Mendonca will be in the cockpit, number 13. Ten and a half minutes to go. The Utes behind by 5. Going for all the marbles, looking for Harry, and Whitehead was there.
We see Kevin Whitehead return. I believe Mendonca knew there was no one to throw to. Pressure was coming, so he just threw it out of the end zone.
2nd and 10 coming at the 45.
All right, now, pass rush will become from the top left of your screen.
Power eye with the end split. Mendonca quarterback. Good moves by Eddie Johnson down to the 36-yard line. Kevin Whitehead was the man who solved the defensive puzzle for the Lobos.
Watch Eddie. When he gets cornered, he takes short steps. You see how, look at those short steps he takes there and can change his direction.
He has 137 yards on 18 excursions. Lobo football action on Channel 14, brought to you in part by Ajax Mobile Homes. We got the spirit, and it shows. Biro at quarterback out of a power I. Dynamite up the middle, and it's Gerald Johnson to about the 32, and Kelvin Johnson, senior from Dallas, makes the tackle. This is the old isolation play.
It sure is. Back leading through the hole, and it seems to become imminent now for the defense to create a turnover. If you can't stop, you got to create a turnover here.
Another first down. 9:33 left in the game. The Utes moving it. First down at the Lobo 32. Harry is there. Crum is there. And Crum saves the day for the Lobos. Thomas Crum, the junior from Detroit. Pre-med student. Clock stopped at 9:22 to play.
Let's watch as I believe Harry does a good job for Utah in preventing the interception here. If Crum intercepts, they get the ball on the 20-yard line, and that would have been New Mexico's best field position in their last 3 possessions. Thomas is nursing a very sore thumb, which I believe he broke early in the season, didn't he?
I think so. I believe I think they performed surgery and put a pin in it, as I recall. 2nd and 10. Lobo 32. The draw play to Gerald Johnson, and a great play by Kenneth Whitehead, forcing at the corner.
Great is an accurate description there. Very warranted. Let's watch this. Watch Kenneth come through blockers. See the 2 guards pulling on the left of the screen? Now Kenneth has to come through them right there. Oh,
boy, has he had a game. 8:56 and counting. Now it's 3rd and 10 from the Lobo 32. Field goal will not tie it. It's a 40-35 game. Lobos. Mendonca, he can get the first down, and does, and more. And Weiss knocked him off his feet, and he will be ruled out at the 11-yard line with a first down.
Oh, this is where you miss Fred Mady right here. Fred doesn't usually let this happen. Umdenstock rushing from the top, forces him up in the middle, and Chris Mendonca finds that daylight and takes advantage of it. He's such a positive player. Everything he does is forward.
1st and 10 on the 11-yard line. And here goes Biro behind a wave of blockers, and that convoy leads him down to about the 8. And Torrey Edwards penetrates that barrier. It's a gain of about 3.
All right, now this is the U-back. McEwen, got to get used to saying U-back. Leading up in front of that play, that's a power play. Fairly well defensed there by the Lobo defense.
On the 8, 2nd and 7. Middle of the 4th quarter. Biro to the 1. Close to the first down. Kirkendall on the tackle. Brian Biro. 212, 6-foot junior.
All right, now this is a pitch to the short man. Biro from the fullback spot. Tailback's out of the picture. It's an unusual thing to turn and pitch it to your fullback. It's usually a handoff. Whether or not they make this first down, New Mexico will have to play a goal line defense from here on in anyway.
Good look at Biro, and they're measuring for the first down. And they have it. And they are just 1 yard away from a touchdown that would put them ahead. The Utes trailing 40-35. And exactly 7:30 left in the 4th quarter. So the game is 7/8 of the way over.
Goal line defense. Now watch the defensive linemen get low. All they can do is to try to get beneath the offensive lineman and penetrate the line of scrimmage.
The sink.
Okay, there it is. Now Mendonca tries to sneak it. You see Biro go over the top. Biro would have made it. He does leap the pile, but Mendonca evidently did not get in.
Well,
Or
they
did
must
they?
have, because
Yeah.
they're taking it over to the 3. Did you see any touchdown signals?
Yeah, okay. I guess they did. It was a very late one. They must have waited until they unpiled completely.
So the Utes lead 41-40.
And it looks like a 2-point attempt coming here from the left hash mark.
Talk about a maelstrom. That's it. 7:11 left, and as Gary pointed out, they've moved the ball. For the 3-point attempt, they've moved it to the left hash. And the Utes line up with Mendonca at quarterback and one setback. And McEwen in motion, and flags on the play, and they stop the play. Illegal procedure against Utah. Now, does that change the strategy? They're ahead 41-40. They have to go 8 yards to get 2 points this time. Still no kicker out there. They're going to go for 2. Bureau looking back from Mendonca. Mendonca at the 4 and in. Boy, they telegraphed that one all over the world, but still made it work.
Still made it work, you're right. It was coming. In fact, I didn't think that Mendonca got enough depth on that. That's out of the screen, but...
So, we have 7:11 to go, and the Utes have taken a 3-point lead. There's Brett Hebert. It's a wild one tonight. The Utes have scored on their last 4 possessions on drives of 80, 80, 68, and 45. And they lead 43-40. And Devin Cooper is back deep at the top right of your picture. And Brett Hebert is at the lower left. And that is Lieber, who will do the kicking for Utah. And they're going to have to do it all over.
It's curious that Lieber, when he gets the wind at his back, has had trouble keeping the ball in bounds. But he has. Hebert did the wise thing in that regard and let it go out of bounds instead of trying to fielding it on the first hop like he did the previous kickoff.
The wind is out of the southeast. Seems to be helping the kickers, but it's also a crosswind.
You know, it seems almost obligatory now for the offense to score to answer that. They were scoring and keeping a 12-point cushion, which Utah was narrowing to a 5, and then back to 12, and now to 5. Now, it's obligatory now. They have to score. Time 7 and 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
4 lead changes so far tonight. Cooper. To the 32. So now the Lobos got to get something brewing. 7 minutes left in the game. They're down by 3. Arbonne splits to the left. Capitola to the right. Rogers in motion behind the left slot. Hall. James gets a block from Burgess and then throws it short of Rogers.
That's the stretch the defense play out of the run and shoot. But James was a little bit low with the throw that time, skipped in.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. And Burgess is mobbed. Nothing. McGriff on the tackle.
Tackling Burgess on that draw sparked the largest celebration that Utah's had tonight. That is the first time they've stopped that for no gain.
Ned James with a good night through the air lanes. Ned under pressure, and it's going to be 4th and 10. Good play by Kevin Hahn, 54. Capitola, the intended receiver. And the Utes looking for their first victory of the year after losses to San Diego State, Ohio State, Air Force, and Wyoming. And the punt by Keller. Does a good job, and a fair catch is made by Hughes at his 34. With 6:12 left in the game. Now the question, can the Utes burn up the clock? Back to play, the Utes at their 34 with the first down. And Eddie Johnson rides a tide up the middle. Orlando Lavelle and Torrey Edwards on the tackle. Just inside the 45, and it's close to a first down.
And watch, no red shirts in the backfield there. You have to wonder that Utah has scored on 2 long drives, previous possessions. The Lobos have been stopped. The Lobos defense have now been on the field probably the better part of the last 10 minutes, and fatigue may begin to play a factor here.
And they're going to measure. And Eddie Johnson and Kevin Burgess are putting on a yardage rushing battle tonight. Burgess 150, Eddie Johnson 146. And Guy Gibbs says that much. Now let's see if they keep it on the ground. Six minutes left. And ticking. Second down and 6 inches. McEwen in motion. Eddie Johnson has the first down near his 46, and Tom Cole has another tackle. .41, and the clock will start as soon as they reset the first down gauge.
You asked earlier, would they keep it on the ground? It would behoove Utah to keep it on the ground for 2 reasons. Number one, to use up the clock. And secondly, I believe they feel right now their offensive line is stronger than the defense.
First and 10, Ute 46. Mendonca at quarter. Eddie Johnson again gets the call. And he loses it, and the Lobos have it. Cole comes up with the ball, 56. Tom Cole comes up with another recovered fumble.
Let's see who causes this fumble here. Everything looks like it's developing just right on the way the play is designed to be. Cuts inside of Umdenstock. Number 28, or is that 20, Marcel Weiss?
And the Lobos, with 5:15 to go, have it at their own 46-yard line. And Ned James gets a yard or 2. Tom Cole just recovered his 3rd fumble of the year. And it'll be second down and almost 9. Bob Jenkins with another tackle, the economics major at left tackle. Ned James brings him up there with 4:48 left. Lobos trailing 43-40. And all the way to the 48 is Burgess in Utah property. And it'll be third down and about 4 to go. Third and about 4 for Kevin Hahn from Tehachapi, California, made the tackle.
Well, what would you come with here? A sprint out, or would you come with it? I think that Utah is waiting for the draw play from Burgess. I think you'd have to do that option play off tackle.
Out of the wishbone. And the option reversed to Kelly. And the bomb, and he's got a man open, and it's complete on the 14 to Capitola, who had slipped. And so the Lobos go to their bag of tricks. And this is a doozy. James to Kelly to Capitola.
All right, Brent Kelly was a high school quarterback. And actually, he would have the first down if he would just keep it and run, but he sees Capitola out in front. A little bit short, however. Look at Capitola waiting on it on his knees, to be sure.
First down on the Ute 14. And Burgess adds 2. 3:49 to go. Lobos trail by 3. A field goal would tie. But they want more than that. They're on the 12. 2nd and 8 to go. So it's a gut check at University Stadium. 3.5 minutes left. James caught by Greg Smith at the 10. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
What a play by Greg Smith. Now, Ned does not know he's behind him. Now, this is a counteraction. He faked to his right, then kept it. Now, Greg Smith in pursuit from behind runs it down.
That's what you call backside pursuit. On the 10. 3rd and 6. Run and shoot alignment. Ned with a bootleg. Pass, touchdown. Oh, he dropped it. Dropped by Rogers. Ned hit him on the numbers. A couple of Utes were not fooled. It is 4th down and 6 at the 10. You're going to try for a tie. Now the Lobos are going to take a timeout. And Ben Griffith is over there signaling for the whole team to come over. It's 4th down. Quickly repainting the picture. 4th down and 6 at the Ute 10. Lobos behind by 3 with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go.
I don't believe they're going for a tie, or they would have just sent the field goal kicking team on. They're over there. Every man on the offensive unit is over there to make sure they know assignments, because they're going for the touchdown on this, or for the first down. First down, they can get it to the just inside the 5 for the first down.
Yeah, they need to go to about the 4.5. And it's on the 10, so they're 5.5 yards away.
And likewise, the defense is huddling at the Utah sideline. Big play for them, too.
Yeah, the band, Lobo band's playing Go, 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 Johnny, Go.
That's right.
Little sideline quarterback in there.
They don't mince words, do they? They know exactly what they want the team to do.
This is a battle to stay out of the cellar. So they're going to go for the first down. 4th and 6. James to Burgess. Burgess breaks it and scores. He broke out of the arms of linebacker Joe McGriff. And McGriff will have nightmares about that one.
All right. The hardest man to cover in a goal line off defense situation is a man out of the backfield. That is Kevin Burgess. But he does it. He breaks the tackle right there for the touchdown. The pass got him the first down. Burgess got the touchdown.
That's his first catch of the night. His 3rd touchdown. His 7th of the year. It's 46-43, and Bibbo will kick. And we'll let you be the judge. What a game. Lobos 47, Utes 43. 2:38 left.
At University Stadium, Connie Alexander and Gary Ness and Ned James
Putting it in reverse. He's looking for Burgess. And he'll find Burgess, who will make the reception, break a tackle, and become the hero of the moment as the Lobos lead 47-43. They lead by 4. Remember earlier in the game when we said they had played one mutual opponent, and based on those scores against San Diego, the Lobos were 3 points better. Right now they lead by 4. Boy, a great effort out to the 36-yard line by Ken Griggs.
And if you think Joe Bibbo's point after touchdown wasn't important, that makes a big difference, because to win this game, Utah now has to score a touchdown rather than kick a field goal with the wind at their back.
Burgess tonight has rushed 158 yards on 16 carries and caught a pass for 10 for a touchdown. He's had 3 touchdowns tonight. Mendonca to McEwen, and Carpenter has him, and it's close to a first down at the Ute 46 with 2:24 left and the clock stopped on the out of bounds play.
And now you have to ask, why does Mendonca get out here outside containment there? There is no real pressure off tackle to make him either back up or throw the ball before he wants to.
Mentioning again, Larry Egger, the starting quarterback, appears to be completely okay. He's on the sideline. He does not appear to be hurting. They're apparently just think that it'll be more productive to use Mendonca and Bureau at the quarterback. And Mendonca is short of Jones. 2:19 to go. Second down and 10 at the 46. Lobos 47, the Utes 43.
Finally, Mendonca had somebody in his face when he got outside containment there, and he had to release the ball early. Thus the incompletion.
Boy, the total offense figures are going to be something to behold. It was 449 to 430 yardage through 3 quarters. And Mendonca in a Lobo property all the way to the 38-yard line with 2:11 to go. Undenstock arrests him. And a Ute shaken up back at the 35, holding his right knee. And let's see who that is. We think it's Dave Cullity, the right tackle, number 74, 278-6'7" senior. Utah has 32 first downs tonight. Mario, do you have the first down total for the Lobos? Mario Martinez, our statistician, does a superb job. Lobos have 23 first downs, the Utes 32. And Mario has been busier tonight than a school of piranha. Our spotters, Randy Dietz and Scott Jones. Scott is reeling in a neutral corner right now.
John Avila, for the Lobos defensive lineman, also limped off the field after the same play, so he's had to be replaced. I believe it's Guy Kalura coming in, and we haven't seen Guy Kalura much this year. Now this is a straight drop back. Mendonca sees, he just eludes the grasp of the contained man and steps up inside. Finally, Torrey Edwards drags him down.
Cullity comes off now. There he is, 74. He's favoring that right leg, but looks like he'll be ready for war again soon. It's on the just outside the 38 of the Lobos. First and 10 with 2:11 to go. Lobos with a 4 front, 5 under coverage, and 2 deep. And there goes Eddie Johnson, and Weiss gets him, but not before he gets to the 11-yard line with 1:55 left. Marcel Weiss on the tackle. And that's a 27-yard jump for Eddie Johnson, and Eddie has 183 yards tonight.
The offensive line of Utah is just at will handling the defensive front for New Mexico, and Eddie or anybody can run through those holes made by that strong front.
1:42 to play, and the clock is ticking. Gerald Johnson to the 9 on the first down try. 1:32. The Utes have 3 timeouts. The Lobos have 2. Tom Cole made the tackle. The ball is on the Lobo 9. The score 47-43 Lobos. Second down and about 7 to go. Clock is still rolling with 1:15 left, and it is ticking. It's like a time bomb right now for both teams. To Biro. And Biro to the 2-yard line. Close to a first down. And they stop the clock now for a measurement. Perhaps for a measurement. 1:02 to play. Art Martinez on the tackle. And Lavelle is shaken up.
Here's that strange play again where you pitch to the short man. Actually, usually pitch to the deep man so that you can use the short man for a blocker. But they seem confident Biro doesn't need as much blocking. They just turn the pitch to him and let him take it.
First down and goal to go. And Jim Fassel, the Ute coach, setting the team's first score of the year. They were 8-4 last year for the first victory of the year, as they have the Lobos pushed to the edge of the cliff. Lobos 47, the Utes 43 with 53 seconds to go. And here come the Utes in the power I. Biro at quarterback. 40 seconds left, and the clock is ticking, and now they call timeout on first and goal. And conceivably, they could be trying to let the clock run down.
Sure.
As they are really in an advantageous position, and they want to use up as much as they can and prevent the Lobos from having that time if they score.
Yes, it would have been a wise thing to do from their standpoint, and plus this gives them now a chance to go over the play that they want to be the scoring play. I believe it's this play that they want. Even though it's a first down, they want to score on this play, and if they don't, they'll either have to quickly call a timeout to get another one run unless it's an incomplete pass. But I think they feel stronger than the defensive front right now, so they're going to run it in, I believe.
39 seconds to go. You see the nose of the ball inside the 2. It's really closer to the 1, the nose of it. They're just about 4.5 feet away from pay dirt. 39 seconds to go. Lobos 47, Utes 43. Don't forget the primetime lineup on Channel 14, Night Rider at 5, Facts of Life at 6, Different Strokes at 6:30 on the Great Entertainer, Channel 14. All right, here we are. It's first and goal. That's Biro at quarter. And Gerald Johnson does not look like he made it. He didn't, but he's close. And Philip Vaughn. Dry Gulf Steam, and it's going to be inside the 1, I think. We'll see.
All right, now they had to use the timeout because they didn't get in the end zone here. Now, can't see the leap attempt, but somebody hit him at the top of the pile and sent him lateral. And there you see him trying to stretch to reach the goal line, which of course he didn't do. Not much of a gain at all, if anything, on that play. If the Lobos are to win this game, they just simply have to keep him out of the end zone for 27 seconds. Let's see, is this
a fumble?
Or force a fumble. Is this their last timeout?
No,
they still have one more. So
the Lobos have 2.
That means they could still run the ball. This play, Utah could still run the ball and call a timeout if they don't get in.
There's the whole story. A lot of sweat, blood, and a few tears to this point in the season.
And a mere 90 points on the board. Disappointment after last year, huh?
What'd you say, 107 total
107 last year. This time the Lobo defense came off the field and huddled during the timeout as well.
Second down, 1 yard away from the go-ahead touchdown. Biro gives them the blueprints. And it's close. No signals. No score. 23 seconds left. Clock stopped. Excavation. '96 is Randall Bell. 49 Kelvin Johnson. It'll be third down coming.
All right, Mendonca tries the sneak, or is that Biro? Excuse me. Biro tries the sneak. He doesn't look like he makes it in there, and of course there was no signal. Now, this is their last timeout, so this poses a new situation. If they don't get in, it's only third down. They have 2 downs. But now, if they don't, this play will probably have to be a sprint out pass because they can't use a timeout to stop it to get another play in. So if you run now, you risk not being able to get a second play off if you don't get it in unless you throw. So that's the difference.
23 seconds to go. And there is how close. That's the goal line on the left. It is just the length of the football away from the go-ahead touchdown. Lobos 47, Utes 43, third down coming. And they will almost certainly call 2 plays before this one. And a field goal ain't enough.
The lineman must the defensive lineman must penetrate the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. That incompletion stops the clock with 19 seconds to go and brings up fourth down. The clock will start on the snap.
Okay, there's the sprint out pass. They did use a running fake off of Bob Umdenstock forces that early throw, and perhaps the reason it was thrown into the ground. The game rides on one play.
Here we are. 4th and goal. He did not make it, and the Lobos hold the fort. Gerald Johnson did not get there. 15 seconds to go. They stop him on the 1 yard line in 4 plays. The Lobos, a flag is thrown now. 2 flags are thrown, and one of those flags may have been at the snap. We didn't see any flags. I looked for flags, but there was one way over toward the far side beyond the hash. Unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Lobos, but the Lobos do have the ball with 15 seconds to go at their 1. So they put up a tremendous goal line stand, and Jim Berryman's troops fought them off and held them to less than a yard in 4 plays.
Here, too many people on the field. It's still a first down.
And would you believe that is the first time in this half that the defense has stopped Utah's offense? The very first time. And in what dramatic fashion.
Now the Utes are going to give it all they got. A safety would only bring them within 2, however. And the sneak. 12, 10 seconds left. Clock is ticking. 8, 7. The clock is rolling. And it is going to run out before anything else can happen. 1 second left, and it's over. And the Lobos win 47-43. What a finish. A photo finish at University Stadium. Our producer, Mark Gardner. Directors, Michi Takahashi and Chuck Chiltweed. Audio, Brian Anderson. There's Joe Lee Dunn. Congratulations from Joe Sparks. So Joe Lee has his second victory in a row after that win last week over Texas El Paso.
And in what dramatic fashion. The defense finally took their turn and stopped them when they had to. First time they stopped them in the second half turned out to be the winning.
And so the Lobos have a victory. Next week they will entertain New Mexico State. Now this is Connie Alexander speaking for Gary Ness, repeating the final score. New Mexico 47, Utah 43. Good night, everybody.